sorry, Crackers, when the Bears play Collingwood, I get so excited I don't know who I'm broadcasting with. Smooth.
From the centre bounce, Sheko gets it down, picked up by Francis, kicks up towards half forward, but it's Wern there for the Brisbane Bears, kicking out towards the boundary line. Collingwood had the numbers, but the ball has too much momentum, and it's gone over. These two teams beginning their second set of meetings together. At this stage, Collingwood leads by 6 games to love. A beautiful day in Melbourne, about 23 degrees, and the surface here at Victoria Park looks terrific as well. Ischenko goes up, Manson from behind, knocks it down towards Bain, but picked up by Gastev. Handball across to Lester Smith. His hand pass goes up towards Campbell. He in turn on to Hardy, who's well tackled. Loose hand pass comes down towards Anderson. Handball across to Starcevic. Coming down the ground, the ball knocked on by Krasiska. Picked up by Kerrison from 60 metres out, kicks up towards Brown, but the mark is taken there by Zanotti, who plays on quickly. The ball goes out towards the wing. On the bounce there to Starcevic. Starcevic sidesteps a couple of Brisbane Bears players. Goes long up towards centre half forward. The ball punched away by Lester Smith. Up towards the centre. Hardy is there. Further up the ground today, Brad Hardy. Picked up by Tony Shaw. Hand pass on towards a Collingwood player. Looked like Mickey Gafer it was. Kicks the ball up towards Anderson. Gets the hand pass across towards Starcevic. Breaks the tackle of Champion. Kicks the ball in towards the forward pocket. Punched away by Gastev. Comes down towards Bain. Hand pass back towards McLean. Good tackle there by Barwick. The ball running free. 25, 30 metres out from Collingwood's goal. And the whistle goes. And there'll be a ball up. And Tim, where is the Collingwood Premiership flag? Their second game here for season 1991, and I cannot see it.
Well, none of us would know where to look because we can't recall where they used to put them up back in the old days. At the bounce of the ball, Manson up, gets it down to Starcevic, sells the dummy brilliantly, and then gives a hand pass to Russell, who hooks it back towards goal. No one able to mark. Off the pack, Bain again. He's had 2 or 3 possessions already. Gets it a little way around the back pocket, not very far, and still the Bears are under siege. But they come away with the ball and get a clearing kick out towards the wing. First there is Williams for the Magpies, well tackled by Hardy. He does get a kick though up towards Dacos, off to Anderson, now to Tony Shaw. On the preferred kicking boot, goes for goal, but hooks it disastrously and off direction and through for a behind. But all Collingwood so far, but perhaps this will be the story of the day at Victoria Park, with the Bears under an oppressive siege in the first couple of minutes of the game. Short pass finds Champion, who looks for Zanotti with a hand pass, doesn't find him with it, has to go back and retrieve himself and gives it out towards O'Keefe. And with a bit of support from Noonan, they take it over the boundary line for a throw-in on Collingwood's half-forward flank.
Football on 3 Alloa network stations. 3 minutes just under in this first term. The Pies lead by 1-0. Manson beautifully down to Shaw. Maybe this time from the skipper. No, it's gone across to the right. And through for Tony Shaw's second behind. A good start by Collingwood. Plenty of possessions for a fairly ordinary result so far. They've probably out-possessioned the Bears by about 2.5 to 1 so far. The kick in by Wern. Hadhead looking for O'Keefe. Lester Smith up, couldn't mark. Comes down to Tony Shaw again in the thick of things. A centering kick to Manson at centre half forward. Dacos was lurking for the crumbs if required in front of the pack. But Manson just juggled it for a split moment. Then feeds the hand pass to Dacos in trouble. Forced onto his left boot, kicks him towards the forward pocket to Brown. Brown uses his body well. Zanotti there, picked up by Champion. Dribbles the ball across the full-back line, picked up by Barwick. Gets almost out of O'Keefe tackle. O'Keefe gets his body in front. He flicks it behind his body, and he's put it out of bounds deliberately against O'Keefe after doing some very good body work on Doug Barwick to rest the front position off Barwick and get it himself, then found himself in trouble, probably hovering over the ball, and Barwick applying the tackle and just knocked the ball underneath him out deliberately.
And might I say, Smooth, despite the pre-match conversation, he deserved to be penalised for that.
35 metres out from goal, on the boundary, not on his preferred kicking style. A little boomerang here from Dougie. No, he's going for the drop punt. It looks to be a shocker from here. And it's missed everything from, 35 out on the boundary. Collingwood behind. A beaut day in Melbourne, and the Pies lead by 2-0.
Any play at Princes Park, Phil Pennell?
Yes, we've been going for 5 minutes. Richmond 1 goal. Fitzroy yet to score.
Clelo?
Yes, Hawkins has kicked the first goal for Footscray in the first minute, no other score.
O'Keefe goes straight down the middle. They're starting at 2:08 at the MCG. We'll go there in about 5 minutes. Zanotti collects the kick in, gets a hand pass to Bain, who puts the Bears into attack for the first time. And a mark taken by Ryan, who gets the customary boo as he is a magpie who returns to his old home. Up towards full forward. Kelly playing O'Brien close. Comes away with the ball. Sweeps the 30-metre hand pass to Starcevic, who sells the dummy again and runs through midfield. Kicks to half forward, but Gastev in the way. Takes the mark. Looks as though he has the job on Dacos, and just might be the man to do it reasonably well for the Bears. He goes short, finds Campbell, who wants to play on and can't break the Williams tackle. Fortunately gets support from McLean. A hand pass to O'Keefe. A long hand pass on. The Bears getting themselves into a bit of trouble here. McLean, Magic, will try and weave some. He can't. He loses control of the ball. It's picked up again by Campbell. Sells the dummy, but then is tackled by Dacos. Gets his kick away, however, towards half forward. Almost a Hamilton mark. Slung to the ground. Might have been worth a free. Not paid. Cleaned up by Shaw. Short pass to Monkhorst and a hand pass on to Francis.
He dropped it, then recovered, then kicks towards centre half forward, and a good mark is taken by Lester Smith. Carrying on from his form from a fortnight ago. Late withdrawal last week. Zanotti gets the hand pass, and it comes out to Wern. Kicks it around the Collingwood member side in front of the rider stand. It's towards the boundary. Hamilton is there with Krasiska, and the ball is knocked over for a boundary throw-in. Saturday football, loving it on 3LO network stations. Collingwood 2 behinds, 2 points, and the Bears yet to score. Just over 6 minutes in this first term. Monkhorst and Merritt. Monkhorst knocks it down, but it's been sharked there by Matty Ryan, the former Collingwood and Sydney Swans player. The kick is marked by Tony Shaw in front of the adoring fans in front of the Bob Rowe stand. Where is the premiership flag, boys? The ball kicked by Shaw. At the Collingwood Town Hall, is it? Thank you very much. Who was that?
Clark.
Oh, Clark, was it? Now, Monkhorst takes the mark and kicks up to Manson. Handball across to Kerrison. Through the centre he goes. A long kick up towards centre half forward. Up goes Brown. One grab. Oh, Anderson feeds off beautifully. Barwick's hand pass. Back towards, who is it? Brown, who picks it up on his bootlaces. 30 metres out from goal. Has put it through for Collingwood's first in the game. Kicked by Gavin Brown.
Wow.
Yeah, Holyfield has defeated Foreman on points. So Big George
went the distance.
Who was, 23 kilos heavier than Holyfield. He hung in there, for 12 rounds now, isn't it, Tim?
Yes.
And Holyfield has won on points. So that would have been a terrific result, especially for bookmakers who would have been giving odds on every round, I would think.
And we might see if we can get some information on whether or not it was close. But repeating that, Evander Holyfield retains the World Heavyweight Championship with a points win over Big George Foreman. Collingwood have just kicked the first goal of the match here and lead 8-0. But the Bears into attack through Gastev out of the centre. O'Brien front position against Bates. Not O'Brien, it's the new player Strempel, who's taken the mark out at the 50 in front of Dennis Banks. So a good start for him. From Swan Districts, kicking from about 50 metres. First kick in AFL football. Can he join the ranks of the illustrious? No, he won't, as Kelly backhands it across the scoreline for a behind. 40 years to the day after Ted Whitten kicked a goal with his first kick in VFL football. Strempel trying to do the same, but registers a behind. The Bears' first score, Collingwood at 1-2-8 after 8 minutes.
Tim, the teams had him down as Strempel yesterday, but the footy record has him down as Stempel. The kick in by Kerrison, so I'm not sure, but maybe we should go with the footy record. Kerrison kicks the ball. Bain, good tackle there by Francis. Loose ball comes down towards Williams. Hand pass not good. Back to Bain, who kept running. Then kicks the ball back to Ischenko on the attacking side of the centre. Now he delivers the ball wide across towards Ashcroft, who kicks to half-forward pocket. Merritt on the ground, can't do much. They're picked up by Matty Ryan. Threads the ball through. Was it touched by Kerrison? Well, it didn't matter because it hit the post anyway. And Matthew Ryan has scored for the Brisbane Bears. We've played just under 9 minutes in the first term. Collingwood 1-2, and the Bears are 2 behinds, 2 points.
And we'll go around the grounds while we try and work out Strempel versus Stempel. Phil Pennell at, in fact, we'll go to the MCG for the first time. David Mackay.
Thanks, Tim. You there?
Yes, Juan.
It's 1.5 minutes gone, and Melbourne lead by 1 point. Melbourne 1 goal straight. North Melbourne yet to score. Phil Pennell.
Yes, scores a level at Princess Park 8 minutes into the first quarter. Fitzroy 1 goal, Richmond also 1 goal. Clever.
We're 9 minutes into the second quarter, and Footscray are 2 goals straight, and Hawthorn are 1 goal, 1-7.
Magpies into attack at Victoria Park, and Starcevic is marked out on the half-forward flank. Inside 50, In fact, could kick from about 45, but he's on the boundary line and he's keen to pass. No leads forthcoming, so he goes for a long one in towards goal, and with his 5th possession, he'll wish he'd only had 4, because he's put that out on the full and he's missed the behind post by about 5 metres at least. Collingwood 1-2-8, the Bears 2 behinds, and we've played 10 minutes at Victoria Park, and repeating the news that Evander Holyfield has beaten George Foreman on points in the heavyweight title fight. Kick back into play from Wern out to half back. O'Keefe gives away another very ordinary free kick as he gets into Barwick's back quite obviously, and Barwick takes the free 65 out.
A lead in towards the forward pocket by Brown. He's got it double back as Zanotti punches the ball that beats Lester Smith over for a boundary throw in. 20 metres out from Collingwood's goal at the Yarra Falls end, the right forward pocket, the Pies deep into attack. Boundary throw in, Manson goes up, tries to take it out of the air, he falls to ground. Anderson gives it to Francis. A left foot snap from Francis is to the right and through for a behind to Collingwood. Score check on 3LO's match of the day. Collingwood 1-3-9 and the Brisbane Bears 2 behinds, 2 points.
Short kick back into play from Wern to a lead from Champion, who goes straight down the middle and couldn't have picked out Scott Russell better if he tried. Russell is 60 metres from goal. Mark that on his chest under no pressure at all. Hooks his kick towards a lead from Brown, who's got a shepherder there in Barwick. Brown can't mark. Zanotti makes the spoil, then collects. Floats a long hand pass out to Noonan, and there's a relayed free kick to Noonan, who kicks towards the wing, but again hasn't placed it. Starcevic, possession number 6 to Mullane with the biggest thigh pad I've ever seen in my life. He kicks up towards full forward. Brown sets himself. He's outreached this time though, and can't take the mark by Lester Smith. Fights on for the ball when it hits the deck, but it's a tug of war, no one wins, and umpire Goldspink comes in and will ball up about 40 metres out from Collingwood's goal. 11.5 into the first term. Collingwood 1-3-9, the Bears 2 behinds.
A ball up dead in front, 40 metres out. Up goes Manson, knocks the ball down towards Dacos. Dacos emerges, no, he goes to the ground, and so does the Brisbane Bears player Johnny Gastev, Dacos' opponent. A ball up about 35 metres out. Collingwood 1-3, Brisbane 2 behinds, 2 points. Tomorrow 3LO from 1:30 at Geelong for the big clash between the Cats and the Blues. Looking forward to that. There's the ball up, the Pies deep into attack. Knocked down by Ishenko, but it goes straight to Williams. Kicks towards the forward pocket, and Brown went up one-handed, but he was outmarked in the finish by... Who was that player down there? Zanotti, who gave the hand pass to Gastev. Kicks up towards Ishenko. Ishenko can't mark. The ball comes behind, picked up there by Russell. Hand pass on the bounce, did find it marked there to Monkhorst. Kicks a wobbly one back towards 50. Barwick's got a chance here. Campbell goes in, gives a good hand pass under pressure to Gastev. He in turn to Ryan. Ryan kicks from half-back around towards the wing on our broadcast side. No one can mark. Lurking for the loose ball is Hardy. Runs around Russell, then delivers up towards the wing position. Hamilton too far underneath the ball. Led under by Krasiska. Picked up by Christian. Handball down towards Williams. Gets out of a feeble tackle from Campbell. Then goes long in towards the forward pocket. They can raffle it. Could have been Starcevic, but it's Brown who's marked. Brown running with into the ball. Starcevic running with the flight of the ball. Decided to leave it. And I'll tell you what, Starcevic covering plenty of territory here, as he has done so far this season. It's very difficult to tell where he's playing, and I'm sure his opponent doesn't know exactly where he's playing. Only the fact that he's on him and covering a fair amount of territory, and that's Champion. Now, here's almost a champion, Gavin Brown. Drop punts. I'm glad I used the word almost. The Collingwood supporters in front of us were looking up most to say, well, Peter is a champion, but not after that kick, maybe. Collingwood 1-4. A little wasteful, Stan. Brisbane 2 behinds, 2 points.
I would think that Lee Matthews is going to give a few Collingwood players an enormous bake at quarter time unless they stop this fancy Dan mucking around. They've got this game by the scruff of the neck, and they're doing absolutely nothing positive about it.
Wern, a very short kick to Champion, who feeds it out to Noonan at half-back. He kicks to the wing, and the ball bounces over the line for a throw-in between the wing and Collingwood's right half-forward flank. It's still marginally in the Magpies' attacking half. They're 1-4-10. The Bears 2 behinds. It's been almost all Collingwood so far. Monkhorst, a lovely knock, just short-circuited by Campbell, who gives McLean a chance. He's got the ball in front of him, controlled it very well under great pressure, and gained about 20 metres with paddles and a little nudge with his boot at the ball off the ground, and eventually over the line for a throw-in. Just the Bears side of the wing now. A very burly, overweight-looking Ishchenko gets the knock to the back of the pack, where Kerrison is in the van. Pulled off the ball. Beautiful hand pass finds McLean coming from Ashcroft. McLean up towards full forward. Magpies solid in defence, but Bain scouts the pack well. Swings back towards goal. Has he got the distance? It's straight. If it bounces through, it does. It's a goal to the Bears. It bounced freakishly. About 3 or 4 of them stood around it, trying to work out what it was going to do when it pitched, and it beat the lot of them with a sharp off break. It must have been David Bain's wrong'un, and it's through for a goal. The Bears are 1-2-8, the Magpies 1-4-10. We might have the close one at Victoria Park 15 minutes in. Let's go around the grounds and check. David Mackay.
Melbourne by 1 point at the 7.5 minute mark. Melbourne 2-1-13. North Melbourne 2 goals straight 12. Phil Pennell.
Fitzroy by 4 points at the 15 minute mark. 2-4-16. Richmond 2 goals 12 points. Clearo.
Oh, and Hawthorn are doing it well out here at the park at the 15-minute mark. Hawthorn are 2-1-13, but Footscray are 4 straight goals.
Ishchenko gets the knockdown taken there by Ashcroft. Handball across to McLean, up towards centre half forward. Mirrored open goal, handball over the top. A chance for Hamilton, quick kick, and has put it through. And the Bears are in front here at Victoria Park. 2-2-14. They lead Collingwood, the reigning premiers, by 4 points. We played 15.5 minutes in the first quarter. Brisbane Bears 2-2-14. Collingwood 1-4-10. Crackers.
Well, they've had all the play, Collingwood, and they let the Bears in, and now Bears have capitalised on their play. And the wind's blowing all down the ground towards the Collingwood end, so they've got to work, Collingwood. They're not going to be handed this game, and the Bears are still working hard. They're undermanned, but at least they're having a go, and they're paying off.
They're on a roll, Crackers.
Of 2.
2 goals in 30 seconds at the bounce. Monkhorst beats Ishchenko, but Campbell comes away with the ball. It was a Bears free kick. The umpire says, OK, play on. It bounces across the half-forward line. And a chance for the Bears. They're there in numbers, although Collingwood's defence closes ranks. Tony Shaw a paddle to Kraziska. Hand pass to Christian. Another one to Kerrison. Off towards Anderson, who has a bit of trouble collecting. Now he's got it. He's on the left boot. Goes wide to the wing. First there, Francis. Awkward half volley. Wern playing him close. Takes it down the tunnel. Fortunately, there's a trainer there to stop it. It might have rolled all the way, and could have finished up in the sewer trying to collect that. No offence anyone at Collingwood, only speaking figuratively. At the throw-in, Monkhorst gets a nice knock, but it's collected on the defensive side by Wern. Puts the Bears into attack. Kraziska in front of Hardy, though, takes a comfortable mark and feeds a hand pass to Christian.
Kicks up towards centre half forward to Manson. Too far for him. Starcevich one grab. Fell back. Lost momentum. Lost the ball. Nice knockout by Manson to Starcevich, but couldn't control it. The ball deflected by Gastev. Picked up by Ashcroft at centre half back. The Bears go up beyond the centre. On the bounce there to Merritt, but he missed it. Picked up by Monkhorst. Handball across to Tony Shaw. Good tackle by Hardy. The best I've seen for a while from him. Picked up by Monkhorst. Loose ball goes to Hamilton. Handball across to Campbell kicks in towards the forward pocket. The ball punched away by Kraziska. Picked up by O'Brien. Grabbed by Kelly. The loose ball comes down towards another Brisbane Bears player in Hamilton. Sidesteps and spins beautifully away from Kelly. Handballed across to O'Brien. And from about 35 metres out, and not under too much pressure on his wrong foot, has put it out of bounds to the left. Brisbane Bears 2-2-14. Collingwood 1-4-10. Almost 18 minutes in the first quarter.
And the Bears had the Magpies under some genuine pressure there. They just had them a little panicky in defence. Banks out to half-back. Ishchenko there for the Bears at the back of the pack. McLean pressured well by Williams, but swings his kick towards full forward. Bain flies in front, virtually unopposed, and then dropped the chest mark. Ball still in dispute at ground level. Taken by Anderson. Clearing kick back to the centre. Francis and Werner. Dacos swoops on the ball and collects it with an old-fashioned one-hand pickup. Kicks long with the left boot over half-forward. O'Keefe fumbles. He's having a bad quarter. Magpies there in numbers. Hand pass Brown to Starcevich. Open goal. And the Magpies are back in front, courtesy of another O'Keefe error in defence. He's having a nightmare. The Magpies 2-4-16. The Bears 2-2-14. 18.5 minutes.
And I'm sure that Lee Matthews' point of view, that's the sort of play he wants to see. What they've done is because the Bears have exposed their little fancy Dan game, the Pies have decided, let's play this a real direct game, and with Dacre swooping on the ball, getting it down quickly, and it was aggressive play. Sure, the mistake was there by O'Keefe, but Starcevich, who is having a super season so far, just swooped on it. He's in great form and kicked the goal.
Centre bounce, a perfect one. Knocked down by Monkhorst, and the first possession out the centre might go to McLean. No, had a fumble. So did Manson. Picked up by Kerrison. Collingwood go forward, up towards the half-forward line. The ball punched away by Williams. He almost marked it on the second grab. In towards Dacos. Lester Smith late. Dacos is still there. The ball picked up by Brown. Thought about a hand pass. In fact, he gave one away, and the player grabbed Manson as he fell to ground. Picked up by Anderson. He's pretty lively, this fellow. Kicks into big Campbell. The ball knocked out of the pack to Campbell. Hand pass on the bounce to McLean. He needed a good bounce and got it. Runs away from a lane. Kicks the ball beyond centre. Up towards the half-forward line to Bain again. Playing cat and mouse there with Tony Shaw. The 222s, 2,222 as Bain kicks towards full forward. The punch away by Collingwood. Picked up by Hardy. A left foot snapping towards goal. It's taken a leg break and it's gone through. A goal to Brad Hardy. And the Brisbane Bears are back in front. 3-2-20 to Collingwood 2-4-16. David at the MCG.
Melbourne by 7 points at the 12.5-minute mark. Melbourne 4-1-25. Lead North Melbourne. 3 goals straight, 18. Phil Pennell.
Fitzroy by 5 points at the 21-minute mark. 2-6-18. Richmond 2-1-13. Ian.
20 minutes into this first quarter, and Hawthorn are 4-1-25. I'll start again. Footscray 4-1-25 to Hawthorn 2-1-13.
20.5 minutes at Victoria Park, and the Bears competitive, leading Collingwood by 4 points. Monkhorst gets the knock at the ball up. Francis onto it, knocks it onto Manson, who helps it onto Mullane, who with the left boot kicks long and very penetratingly towards Dacos. Good spoil, Gastev. Dacos fights on but fumbles. Gastev in over the top of the ball now. Flicks it out but straight to Barwick, who snaps at goal from the pocket, puts it right across the face. In fact, it curls around the boundary line for some metres before crossing it under the scoreboard and over the line for a throw-in. About 15 metres around from the behind post. Left forward pocket. The Bears 20, the Magpies 16. At the throw-in, Francis takes possession. Tackled, penalised. He just looked at the umpire waiting for a ball-up call because he felt the ball was jammed against his body. But the umpire, who is Goldspink, ruled against him. Free kick to Ashcroft, out to half-back. Ischenko marks the hand pass to Ryan, tackled. Gets a hand pass off to Noonan, back to Ischenko. A long one to McLean, doing very well on our wing. He feeds a hand pass to Gastev, running off Dacos. Well shepherded by McLean. Runs long and then kicks to full forward, but doesn't kick well. And Kelly marks. He plays on. Dangerous hand pass to Christian, who's under pressure. A chance for the Bears. O'Brien. Snap at goal is there. And the Bears are on a roll.
Drag him.
The Magpies 4-2-26 lead Collingwood 2-4-16. The Bears leading by 10 points at the 22-minute mark. Now, they were disgraced at the Gabba last Sunday, playing their first match in Brisbane, and no doubt that has been driven home to them. Crackers, this just might be a danger game.
I was talking to Robert Walls before the game, and he was quietly confident. I said, well, you know, you've got a lot to prove. And he said, well, we might even prove it today, but Collingwood... Maybe they decided that they had won the game before they actually 5 o'clock, and they're paying for their sin. They've got to work a lot harder. A few of their forwards have got to chase their men out.
The runner out to Kelly, but he wasn't dragged. Centre bounce, almost 50-50 to centre bounce. Who's going to emerge? Was Campbell, hand pass to McLean. So the first clean possession out of the centre goes to the Brisbane Bears, up to Merritt. Christian there, they both miss it. Mullane doing battle, the ball on the ground. Will it come out? No, it won't, and there'll be a ball up. Brisbane by 10 points, 4-2-26. Collingwood 2-4-16. A bad hand pass by Kelly then. Almost backing towards the forward pocket. Gave that goal to the Brisbane Bears with O'Brien. Now ball up, and there's going to be a free kick against the Brisbane Bears. Ischenko, and it's Monkhorst almost at centre half back. Gives a hand pass to Krasiska running past. Around the members' wing he goes. Dacos leaves it for Manson. He gets it on the bounce. Then tries an underground hand pass. Ends up with Starcevic. Kicks up towards Dacos. Controls the ball beautifully. Oh, well, he lost it in the finish. Will he get around his right boot and kick a goal? No, he's lost it. Picked up by O'Keefe. Hand pass to Champion in the back pocket. Kicks up towards the point of the square. Ischenko is there. He's grabbed. The loose hand pass comes to Manson. Manson's hand pass, a bit of a wobbly one off his right hand. Picked up by Barwick on the ground. Back to Manson. From 45 metres out, the big fellow goes long in towards goal. And it was helped through by Zanotti. And it's a Collingwood behind. A kick by James Manson. A tick under 24 minutes in the first term. Brisbane 4-2-26 by 9 over Collingwood. 2-5-17.
One at a time. Swan, the score at the MCG.
7-point lead to Melbourne at the 16-minute mark. Melbourne 5-1-31. North Melbourne 4 goals straight 24.
O'Keefe kicks in this time. Off the pack, the Bears are there in numbers, and that's a good sign for them. Ashcroft, a hand pass to Campbell, who does the full arc, goes onto the left boot, but then balances and kicks with the right. Puts them into attack up to half forward, where they're a bit of a chance, but Ryan is very well tackled by Krzyzewska. Wrapped the arms around him in a vice-like grip, threw him into the Victoria Park turf and let him know that it's not necessarily a warm homecoming. At the throw-in, Ischenko front position against Monkhorst, brings it down nicely, but Krzyzewska sharks it. A left footer back to the centre line. The ubiquitous Starcevic, a hand pass to Russell in full flight. Lovely long kick over half forward. Not much there for Collingwood. Manson their only hope, but he was trapped under the ball. Taken away by Wern, delivers beautifully with the left boot and finds Champion. A hand pass inside to Ashcroft. From behind the centre line, kicks through the centre. Awkward half volley. Well trapped by Stremple, by Merritt. Lost possession though, taken away by Krzyzewska. Kicks Collingwood into attack. Manson, almost a good two-grabber, not paid by the umpire. Might have deserved the nod. Picked up by Wern, tackled, penalised. Collingwood free kick on the half-forward line, and they go on straight away. No, they don't. The umpire says the ball will come back, and the free kick will be taken outside 50. Collingwood 2-5-17. The Bears are 4-2-26. Quick score from Phil Pennell.
Yeah, Fitzroy by 11 points at the 25-minute mark. 3-7-25. Richmond 2-2-14.
Shocking kick by Gavin Brown is short-circuited by Champion. He clears to the wing for the Bears, but picked up by Shaw. Hand pass to Mullane, a long left footer, up towards full forward. O'Keefe backing back, drops the mark, but the Bears have got numbers there again. Zanotti, a hand pass to Lester Smith, under no pressure. He delivers towards Ashcroft, who can't mark. McLean there to lend a hand to Ashcroft, who floats a hand pass to Bain, who is tackled well by Francis, but gets a kick about 15 metres on towards Merritt. Merritt versus Christian, shoulder to shoulder. Merritt helps the ball on, opens the door for Ryan. Lovely one-hand pickup with the left boot up towards the forward pocket. 2-on-2. Up goes Stremple, can't mark, picks it up, hand pass to Hardy, open goal, and the Bears have their fifth. And it is very silent at Victoria Park. The Bears are 5-2-32. The Magpies 2-5-17. The margin is 15 points, 26 and a half minutes in. Stanley Alves, a quick comment.
Yeah, tremendous effort by the Bears. I think that there's a couple of real key points here. I think Ashcroft is beating Russell in the centre. We've got McLean doing well out on his wing here. And Bain with his run. Tony Shaw's tagging him. And when Shawry tries play man-on-man and they get a quick break, they're in awful trouble. It's those running players getting the ball down quickly. And you can just see what's happening. The Pies' defence a little bit loose.
The Bears by 15 points. Ischenko got the best of that. He'll get the first position out of the centre. Knocked on by Campbell, but straight to Krzyzewska. So the first goes to Collingwood. Krzyzewska kicks up towards half forward on the bounce. Comes out towards Champion. Tried a soccer kick, missed it. Opened the door for his opponent in Starcevic. Gets a short kick in towards Francis, and Francis marks on the attacking side of the centre. Kelly's on his hamstring, has he?
He's off. He's on his way around Mullane at full back at the moment.
Oh, the kick by Francis, a bad one. It's been marked by Lester Smith in the half-back line. And he, in turn, a shocking kick. It's been marked by Starcevic. Handball onto Anderson. On the point of the square, kicks in towards full forward. Up goes Brown. He was outnumbered 2-1. Roving the pack beautifully, Johnny Gastev. A beautiful foot-clearing pass finds McLean. Williams hanging on to him. McLean now keeps it a little proppy high kick up towards the wing. It wasn't a good one there for Hamilton, although he did trap it, but he had to wait too long to trap the ball, and Tony Shaw came in, applied to tackle. Jamie Turner's on, replacing Kelly, and there'll be a boundary throw in. Well, I think it was 65.5 points for an even money bet in this game. And have a look at the scoreboard now, close on quarter time. Brisbane 5-2, Collingwood 2-5.
At the throw-in, Tony Shaw at the front of the pack, a left footer into attack. O'Keefe marks. It was a touch ball, so he runs on. Hand pass to Gastev, who gives it to McLean, who's been magic. Gets a hand pass, which was meant for Ischenko. Didn't get close to him. Picked up by Monkhorst. Pushed off his kick, and that gives Ischenko another chance. He gets a hand pass to Bain, who just fumbles momentarily. And in goes Dacos to contest, but he's tackled, thrown over the boundary line, and the ball will be thrown in between the wing and Collingwood's right half forward flank. Clelo, we haven't caught up with the latest at Waverley.
You think you've got a toughie. What about this one? Footscray 6 goals 2-38 to Hawthorn 2-2-14.
I told you before the match they beat him out there last year. They just might do it again. Russell, a left footer into attack for Collingwood from the throw-in. Manson up high, can't mark. Barwick roves the pack. Hand pass to Williams. This ought to be a goal. It's an open goal from 45 metres, but he misses. And the Magpies are very wasteful. They should have been 5 goals in front 10 minutes into the match. As it is, they're down by 14 points, 2-6-18 to the Bears 5-2-32.
Kick in by Wern, a short one to Lester Smith. He marks and plays on, doesn't muck about. Kicks the ball up towards half forward to Ischenko, but Monkhorst in front knocks the ball away. Hamilton is there too. Loose ball comes to Ryan of Brisbane Bears. Hand pass on to Gastev. Gastev kicks them long up towards centre half forward. Up they go. No one can mark it. Picked up by Turner. His kick is smothered by Hardy, but he then gets a soccer kick up towards the Collingwood wing position. Picked up there by Mullane, who runs away from Noonan, and the siren goes for quarter time. And let's have a look at Lee Matthews up there in the coach's box. He'll be halfway down those steps by now, I would imagine. In fact, very shortly, he'll come into view. Now I think he's already gone. In fact, I think he's even just about down with the players now. Well, at quarter time here at Victoria Park, Brisbane 5-2-32. Lead Collingwood by 14 points, 2-6-18. The goal kickers for Brisbane, 2 to Hard.
Every month. Evander Holyfield has retained his world heavyweight boxing title, but not before overcoming determined resistance from his veteran opponent George Foreman. Holyfield gained a unanimous points decision after 12 rounds in Atlantic City, New Jersey. 42-year-old Foreman won some of the earlier rounds and fought back after almost being knocked out in the 9th. Citrus growers say they'll maintain pressure against the federal government to keep the sales tax exemption for Australian juices. Back to the football.
Where the second term has just started. The Magpies into attack through Monkhorst up towards half forward, but Wern takes the mark and he's doing a very solid job in the back half. A hand pass to Champion, another one to the galloping Zanotti, who has a bounce, and he put it in a tough and it bounced over his shoulder and he's lost it. Champion over the ball, the crowd hollering for ball. The Magpies come away with it anyway. Francis towards Manson. Spoiled, can't take the mark. At the fall of the ball, the Bears looking good. O'Keefe comes away from the pack with it. Kicks long through the centre. Merritt versus Christian. Christian outmanoeuvres the Brisbane captain. Hardy runs onto it though. He's got support in Hamilton. Under pressure, wheels onto the left boot. Chips it in the Merritt direction. He puts the shoulder up against Christian. Opens the door for Hardy. Sweeping hand pass towards Merritt. A knock on towards O'Brien at full forward. Under a bit of pressure, and he wheels onto the left. He swings it high towards goal. Can't get enough hook on it, and it is out on the full, and a Magpie free kick next to the behind post. No change to the score since quarter time. Brisbane 5-2-32, Collingwood 2-6-18.
Free kick to Gayfer, and the free kicks up till quarter time with 4 apiece here at Victoria Park, as Monkhorst gets a push in the back from Ischenko, and Monkhorst will take the free kick on 50. Beats the hand pass to Francis, who's got a double back, then has a nervous bounce and a bad hand pass to Christian, not in a better position, and there was a flick there, a throw, open-handed by Christian. Hardy's got the free kick attacking side of the centre. Stremple is dropping back. Gayfer's on him. Hardy's going for a long bomb. No, he's going short as the lead goes in towards the pocket, and it's been marked by Stremple. Did well to get away from Gayfer, because when I look back, he was running back in towards the goal square, and Gayfer wasn't too far away, as is his norm as a backman, but Stremple got away from him. Stremple got away from him. Now about 10 metres in from the boundary, 15 metres out from goal, favouring his right foot kicking style to the Yarra Falls end. It's going to land just a centimetre short. There's going to be a mark paid in the goal square, and it looks like O'Brien. Yes, it is. Cameron O'Brien has marked only 2 metres out from goal, and he's coming around on an angle. He's still about 10 or 12 metres in. Right forward pocket, Yarra Falls end, can run right in. And the Bears lead by 20 points as O'Brien gets his second goal. Brisbane Bears 6-2-38, Collingwood 2-16, and the Bears kick away to lead by 20 points.
And I'll just repeat that in case you can't be heard above the crowd noise here at Victoria Park. Brisbane 6-2-38, Collingwood 2-6-18. David Mackay's at quarter time at the MCG.
Not yet, Tim, but North Melbourne lead by 6 points at the 31-minute mark. North Melbourne 9-1-55, Melbourne 8-1-49. Not the first time North Melbourne's been in front.
Golly, the Demons are a different team this year, aren't they? They've evidently altered their their structure and approach and are playing in a string of high-scoring matches. At the bounce of the ball, Campbell against Monkhorst gets the knock forward for the Bears, but sharked by Kerrison, forced a hand pass to Shaw, just outside the centre circle. Swings a left footer up towards half-forward. Starcevic flies from behind. Can't mark. Kicked off the ground by Wern. Back towards the centre. Hamilton there for the Bears. A hand pass searching for Noonan, but Francis gets to it first. Runs into a couple of tacklers. Gets a desperation hand pass to nobody. Wern for the Bears. Feeds a hand pass to Hamilton on the wing. Kicks up towards half-forward, but an aimless kick. Christian getting underneath it. Awkward bounce for him. Merritt there in close attendance, but the ball falls off Merritt over the boundary line. He had a chance because Christian was unbalanced, and if Merritt could have taken it cleanly, the Bears might have built another effective attack.
Second term here at Victoria Park. The sun just going behind a cloud, but a perfect day. 4 minutes in the second term. Boundary throw in. Collingwood free kick to Monkhorst. He'll feed the hand pass. What's that, Jack? Now, Monkhorst has got the free kick on half-back, kicks across the half-back line to Christian, and loads a hand pass to Kerrison, runs away easily from Hamilton, has a couple of bounces, then aimlessly kicks up just wide of the centre, where it's been marked by Wern. So the ball comes back, so has the rebound footy here for Collingwood in defence. Ryan can't mark for the Brisbane Bears, but he runs away from Kerrison, then kicks the ball up towards the forward pocket. Strimple is there, and also Banks. Banks with a nice old crew cut, and his left foot kick not marked by McLean of Brisbane Bears as he fell towards the ball. Williams, I thought, may have been tripped. Does well for Collingwood with the hand pass, but it goes to McLean. Luckily knocked away by Anderson. Emerging is Kerrison. Talking about the ball, it looks as if it might have been the Collingwood ball last night, and the boys may have been out until about 3 o'clock the way they're playing at the moment. Brisbane Bears 6-2-38. Collingwood 2-6-18. Football on 3LO and network stations.
Ischenko in ruck. Monkhorst arriving very late, and Ischenko gets it to Hamilton at the back of the pack. Swings it up towards O'Brien. Gaffer playing him close in typical fashion. O'Brien knocks it towards Hardy. One out with Christian. Christian does well. Got his body between Hardy and the ball. Now Hardy's got it. Snaps at goal for his third. It's very quiet. He's put it through for another one. And the Bears are 7-2-44. The Magpies 2-6-18, the margin 26 points, and the upset of the season might be on. Around the grounds, David Mackay is at quarter time.
Yes, Tim, it's quarter time. Scores level at quarter time. Melbourne 9-1-55, North Melbourne 9-1-55. And just to let you know that Brayshaw replaced Crocker in the selected side. Phil Pennell.
We've played 2 minutes into the second quarter and Fitzroy lead by 13 points. Therefore 10-34, Richmond 3-3, 21 Ian.
We're 6 minutes into the second quarter and Hawthorn are struggling. They are 3 goals to 20 to Footscray, 7-3, 45.
Gee, an early goal by Footscray in the second term, and early goal by Brisbane Bears here. Turner's hand pass gets it to Shaw. Shaw kicks towards half forward. Starcevic lurking, fires for goal, and has put it through, I'd say. He has. So Starcevic for Collingwood gets his second, and he was Collingwood's chief possession getter in the first quarter with 11 possessions, 7 kicks, 2 marks and 4 hand passes, and now has added to that with another kick and this time a goal. Brisbane Bears 7-2-44, still leading Collingwood by 20. The Maggies are 3-6-24. Stan.
And I think that really he is the big hope for Collingwood at the moment, because it just really is amazing as a big round of applause goes, because young Richardson has come onto the ground and he's gone to full forward.
Anderson's gone off.
And it just shows you, doesn't it, the attitude of players. Collingwood really haven't been tuned in, and when the Bears come back on, they've struggled, and now the little bit of panic set into Collingwood, and they really needed that goal from Starcevic, who's one of the few players out there who has a very good attitude. He's attacking the ball, he's covering a lot of territory. There's no fancy Dan stuff about him, and from their sake they'll need a lead, because the Bears at the start of this quarter have been absolutely tremendous.
Brisbane by 20 points. Ischenko and Monkhorst share the honours. Manson has possession. He's tackled. A hand pass towards Dacos and Krzyzka. Dacos in midfield trying to lift Collingwood. Goes backwards with a hand pass to Turner, whose kick only really gets back to the centre circle, and Ischenko takes a very strong mark in front of Manson. He gives a hand pass, and the Bears are into attack. Bain kicks up to half forward. O'Brien out in front of Gaffer. Marks at the 50.
Dacos is on Hardy.
Tagging him, Crackers. He's down in the back half of the ground, shoulder to shoulder with Brad Hardy. And at the moment they are watching Cameron O'Brien, who's kicked a couple already, kicking from just outside 50 to put the Bears 26 points in front. It's long, but it's off direction, and the margin is 21 points. The Bears are 7-3-45. The Magpies 3-6-24. We came here expecting a massacre. We might see a major upset.
And Mark Richardson is playing at full forward. Kerrison to kick in for Collingwood. 21 points they're down, short to Dacos. Merritt late on the scene. Dacos gets onto his non-preferred side because he sees Banks by himself outside 50. Banks tackled by Stremple and does it pretty well too. The tackle, I mean, but Banks does get a handball away. It's a bad one to Ryan, who's grabbed by Tony Shaw, and the ball has gone over, and the Collingwood fans thought that Matty Ryan may have handballed deliberately out. Brisbane 7-3, Collingwood 3-6, the boundary throw in. Ashenko knocks the ball down but straight to Tony Shaw. Has time to steady, work to his left foot up towards Starcevic. The punch from behind by Champion. Zanotti knocks the ball towards the boundary. Noonan ducks his head because the tackle was coming from the opposite number 26 in Gavin Brown. And there's a boundary throw in right in front of our broadcast position on the wing on the southern side of Victoria Park. Ischenko up with Starcevic. Ischenko wins to Ryan. Can't get a really good kick at the ball. Picked up off his bootlaces virtually by Starcevic. Handball onto Shaw. Shaw's kicked the half forward. Manson up, but the mark taken by Champion. And that was a very good mark because they're almost on a collision course, and Champion's marked on half-back flank.
Kicks the Bears into attack. Fifth mark up towards Merritt, who really hasn't done much. He's competitive with Christian, but neither doing anything terribly effective. Shaw roves the pack. A hand pass to the grass-burning Francis, who from the wing puts Collingwood into attack. Richardson, first touch of the ball was almost a mark. He gets a free. He was held, and he's got a free, and he, 40 years after Teddy Whitten achieved the feat, might just kick a goal with his first kick in the big league.
It's a massive kick.
He'll kick from inside 50. The distance shouldn't be a problem.
I'm watching his dad up in the coach's box, Tim.
Tony Shaw was in quickly to help compose him. He comes in and kicks from about 49 metres, and he's done it. And Victoria Park salutes, as young Mark Richardson is absolutely mobbed by his teammates, and a couple of Bears come in to give him a bit of what-ho, and they cop the treatment from James Manson and co. As with his first kick in league football, 40 years after Ted Whitten did the same thing in his first game, Mark Richardson's done it for Collingwood. And the Magpies are back within 15 points, 4-6-30, the Bears 7-3-45, 11 minutes second quarter.
Well, not much emotion up there from his dad, but I suppose inwardly very, very proud in the coach's box. From the ball up, who's going to emerge with the first possession? Francis running with the flight of the ball, but he's running the wrong way across the half-back line. Handballs it out in front away from Noonan to try and give himself a little bit of movement. And the ball is kicked by Francis around the boundary, and there's a throw in front of our broadcast position. 7-3-45. Brisbane, Collingwood 4-6-30. The Bears by 15 points. Boundary throw in. Krasiska got a hand to it, or Russell grabbed from behind. The ball comes out of the pack in front there of Starcevic's Champion. Good tackle there by Brown. Champion's hand pass goes to Campbell. Campbell runs away from Christian, has a bounce, runs up to about 60, goes long in towards goal, and it's punched away by Jamie Turner and to the right forward pocket at the Yarra Falls end, and there'll be a boundary throw in. Almost 12 minutes in the second quarter, and Brisbane lead by 15 points.
And they are deep in attack. The throw-in is only 5 metres from the behind post. Merritt and Monkhorst, and O'Brien comes in and snatches it out of the air, but then drops it. Gaffer has it. His hand pass is smothered. Collingwood still under pressure. Francis has it. He's well tackled, dispossessed. The ball's still in the Bears' right forward pocket. Gaffer a chance. Had possession, lost it. Collingwood get a free kick. And it goes to Krasiska for being held when not in possession. He goes straight across the face of goal for Christian, who's made space and takes the mark in the other back pocket. As the Magpies switch play, and Christian now delivers to Williams. Quiet so far. On the half-back flank, he kicks towards the wing. His target is Manson. He's got two against him and has no hope of marking. It's thumped away over the boundary line and will be thrown in as Big James turns to the field umpire and says, "Didn't you see what happened there?" He obviously believes he should have got a free kick. Throw in on the wing.
Checking all other scores shortly. Boundary throw in, knocked down by Lester Smith. Hardy there, finessing a little bit. Left the ball behind for Tony Shaw though. Handball across to Turner. He in turn to Francis, who's been, along with Starcevic, Collingwood's two good players. Kicks the ball in towards centre half forward. Zanotti took his eye off the ball and virtually had it spent and left it behind. Picked up by Brown. Brown's hand pass intercepted by Champion because the gate would have been open to Starcevic. Good deflection there by Champion. Kicks the ball around the wing. Gastev can't control it. It lands on his head. He might have had better control had it landed on his nose. Looking at Johnny Gastev. We'll check all the other scores in just a moment. Boundary throw in, no one there for the Brisbane Bears. Monkhorst charges through. He's eventually grabbed, lost possession, picked up by Tony Shaw. Hand pass on to Francis. High floating kick towards Richardson at half forward. The ball punched away by Lester Smith. Comes down to Ryan. He in turn to Gastev with a hand pass. A long kick by Gastev up towards the 50 for the Brisbane Bears. Punched away by Kerrison. The ball comes down towards Stremple. A left foot kick on the half volley. Hit Brad Hardy on the nose almost. Lost possession. Picked up by his opponent. Dacos draws the player. Handball onto Barwick. On the attacking side of the centre. Kicks in towards half forward. Kicked in midair by O'Keefe. Picked up there by Williams. A left foot snap for goal is to the right and through for a behind his second. 14 minutes second quarter. Brisbane 7-3-45. Collingwood 4-7-31. David Mackay at the MCG.
Melbourne by 6 points at the 4-minute mark. Melbourne 10-2-62. North Melbourne 9-2-56. Phil Pennell.
Richmond by 6 points at the 10-minute mark. 6-4-40 to Fitzroy 4-10-34. Ian.
At the 15-minute mark out here at the park, and it's Footscray by plenty. They are 9 goals, 3-57 to Hawthorn, 4-2-26.
Amazing. Remember what Hawthorn did to them in the Foster's Cup. Now, there's a Bears free kick after the ball was kicked into play. They transferred it nicely to the centre line. Gastev was held when not in possession and takes a free in midfield. The Bears 7-3-45. The Magpies 4-7-31. Brisbane by 14 points. Yes, that's right. If you've just tuned in, they've outplayed Collingwood for a quarter and a half. A hand pass Gastev to Lester Smith, who delivers beautifully and hits Cameron O'Brien on the chest, 45 metres from goal. He was on the lead and Lester Smith couldn't have passed the ball with greater precision. Third mark this quarter to Cameron O'Brien, who's giving Gay for the runaround. He's kicked 2, and this is kickable from inside 50. It's not a goal. He's hooked it badly. It falls on the line and is forced through for a behind. The Bears 7-4, the Magpies 4-7. The margin 15 points. The Bears in front, 15 and a half minutes second term.
High scoring game at the MCG, and certainly dead eyes out there with 19 goals and just 4 behind scored. Now the kick in by Kerrison, he's not too sure where to kick it. So where's Collingwood's formation across the half-back line as Monkhorst runs towards that right half-back flank. Christian is there, but coming up in front of the pack is Mullane, who'll get a free kick for pushing it back. Brown calling for it, but he gives the handball to Dacos lurking nearby. He might go for Brown. He does, but misses him. And behind him is Ischenko. Takes the mark. No, it's Zanotti who has a bounce and kicks down towards full forward. O'Brien is not tagged down there for the minute and has marked about 20 metres out from goal. He has kicked 2 goals, 1. And been a headache for the Collingwood defence.
Ex-Collingwood, Peter.
Yep. The Bears by 15 points. O'Brien dead in front. Drop punch for goal, and he's put it through from here. I think he has. He has for his 3rd goal. So that first quarter was by no means a fluke by the Bears, because they really are going on with it. They led by 14 points at quarter. It's 8-4-42, 8-4-52, 4-7-31. David Mackay at the MCG.
Melbourne by 11 points at the 6.5-minute mark. Melbourne 10-3-63 lead. North Melbourne 9-3-57. Phil Pennell.
It's the Tigers by 12 points at the 14-minute mark. 7-4-46 to Fitzroy 4-10-34.
Clearlight.
17 minutes gone, and Dunstall just got his 4th. Hawthorn a 5-2-32 to Footscray 9-3-57.
17 minutes in here, the Bears by 21 points. They win in the ruck again. Ischenko beating Monkhorst. Francis on the defensive side of the pack. His kick smothered, a big ugly pack and a ball up the outcome. And it's about 5 metres forward of the centre circle insofar as the Bears are concerned. And insofar as they're concerned, it's a healthy-looking scoreboard. 8-4-52 to 4-7-31. Monkhorst wins handsomely this time, but Ashcroft rows it. Gives a hand pass to Bain, who puts the Bears into attack to half-forward. One out here. Turner is outmarked by his opponent, Hamilton. An excellent mark, 45 metres out directly in front. And they might get another one. And we might have another one of those amazing silences. I don't think I've heard post-goal silence at Subiaco quite like is being achieved here at Victoria Park today, as a hushed crowd is watching in stunned disbelief as the Bears are taking their heroes apart. Hamilton comes in and kicks at goal, and he has put it through, I think.
Yep.
It's gone quiet again. He has. And the Bears lead by 27 points. 9-4-58. Collingwood 4-7-31. Crackers, are you watching in stunned silence?
Well, they're playing very, very good football. They're going to the ball first. Their desire to get it. Collingwood decided that they were going to be given this game, and they must have rung up AFL House and said it's available. The only problem is you've got to work very hard. They're not doing that. The Bears are playing good football. It was a good lead. Hamilton got on the end of that lead, took the mark and converted. They're playing good football at the moment.
Now, from the centre bounce, neither ruckman gets an effective tap. Who'll emerge with the first possession? Manson runs into that centre huddle from the centre square line when they bounce the ball, and Starcevic, who is next to him, goes back about 15 metres behind that centre square line. Now there's the ball up for secondary bounce. Up goes Ischenko and knocks it down to McLean. The target was good, but he was being manned by Brown, who applied the tackle and forced another ball up. So ball up number 3 coming. Brisbane 9-4. Collingwood 4-7. Football on 3LO network stations tomorrow. It'll be Geelong and Carlton down at Cardinia Park. But this one first. There's the ball up, and Ischenko wins again. Kick off the ground by Campbell. Through the packet goes up towards the centre square line. Out comes Kerrison. Bain applies the tackle. Loose ball goes to Tony Shaw. Quick hand pass to Dacos. Got it this way, that way. Then kicks out to Barwick. Barwick on the defensive side of the centre. Goes long up towards half forward. The ball goes behind the pack. A chance here for Starcevic. Picks it up. 25 metres out for goal. Has put it through for his third.
Where would they be without him?
Exactly. 3 goals straight to Craig Starcevic. Brisbane Bears 9-4-58. Collingwood 5-7-37. Bears by 21 points. Stanley.
Yes, well, just looking there, just before that ball has bounced, Peter, trying to pick up the moves. There's that many moves that Lee Matthews has had to make. He's virtually thrown all the tags off. He's put Brown up. He's trying to put all these good players. He's had Francis, Shaw, Brown, Russell, up those players up round the ball, trying to get a lift and get them into the action. And they really needed that goal from Starcevic, because the Bears really have done a credit to themselves in this quarter.
Just over 20 minutes in, Ischenko wins again. It's becoming predictable, but the Magpies win it out of the centre. Mullane gets a hand pass to Shaw. On to Krzyzewska with the left boot up towards Manson, who's at full forward. Front position though, Lester Smith. Manson fights on when it hits the deck, but he's well tackled by Champion. And the ball falls off them and over the line for a throw-in, although again Big Charlie seemed to reckon that he should have got a free kick for some reason. For what, I have absolutely no idea. At the throw-in, Manson front position. Lester Smith comes from behind and gets a knock, and there's a free against Manson, and that won't please the big fellow. It's going the Bears' way, and it goes to O'Keefe in the back pocket. The Bears are 9-4-58. The Magpies 5-7-37.
O'Keefe's hand pass, 21 minutes in the second term to Bain, up towards the centre. Krzyzewska up one-handed, almost grabbed it in, clawed it in. The ball goes to Russell. Nice hand pass to Tony Shaw. Just inside 50, it'll stretch his kicking power. Kicks him towards the forward pocket. Manson off the back, fires the goal and puts it through. Good work by Manson, outnumbered 2-1. He had a big fellow to contend with. I think it was Lester Smith and Bain also for the crumbs, but he made sure that although he didn't mark the ball, he retained some type of possession, which he did, and quickly got the ball onto his boot and has put it through for Collingwood's second goal in 3 minutes. Brisbane 9-4-58, Collingwood 6-7-43. David Mackay at the MCG.
Melbourne by 7 points after 12 minutes. Melbourne 10-5-65 lead. North Melbourne 9-4-58. Phil Pennell.
Fitzroy are trailing at the moment. They're 4-10-34 and Richmond are 8-5-53. Clearo.
We are 22 minutes into this quarter, and Footscray are 9-4-58 to Hawthorn 6-2-38.
From the bounce, Bears gaining metres, but Magpies win possession through Barwick. Hooks it out wide to the wing. First there, Wern against Francis. Wern gets a kick despite the tackle, and it's a Johnny Beckwith out to the boundary line and then over for a throw-in. Still virtually on the wing in front of the rider stand. The Magpies hitting back 6-7-43. The Bears 9-4-58, the margin 15 points. Monkhorst and Ischenko wrestle. Monkhorst wins and then takes the ball out of the air, puts Collingwood into attack for Richardson, gets a nice bounce, comes back onto the right, then goes onto the left. He's well tackled by O'Keefe. Hand pass looks for Kerrison, still about 70 metres from goal. Swings it back to full forward, but nothing there for the Magpies, and Lester Smith takes the mark. Feeds off a hand pass to Noonan, who delivers out to half-back looking for Hamilton, who is outpointed by Turner, who snatches the ball, gives a hand pass to Williams, unloads long towards Manson at full forward. Well done, Lester Smith, as he gets hands on ball and makes sure that it doesn't beat the pack and go through for a goal. And off his hands, it does cross the scoreline for a behind. Collingwood 6-8-44, Brisbane 9-4-58, 23 minutes second term.
Now the kick in, but it's got to go back. Apparently something was not in order there. Brisbane 9-4, Collingwood 6-8, 58-44 here at Victoria Park. A beautiful day in Melbourne for listeners interstate and, of course, around the world. We had that first letter from Japan during the week, a listener there. Short kick to O'Keefe from Wern. O'Keefe goes back to Wern with the foot pass. Zelnotny's marked outside 50, then pumps a long hand pass to Gastev, playing cat and mouse with Mark Richardson, who applies the tackle, and the ball is taken away from Gastev. Bit of pushing and shoving going on, picked up by Noonan. He's kicking to the centre, gets a ball. Brown got a bad bounce. Ishenko a bad bounce, tried to knock it on, picked up by Turner. Hand pass on to Williams on the bounce. Plenty of toe. He's 60 metres out, kicks in towards goal. It's bouncing and just the wrong way. It broke a little from right to left and through for Williams. And if you want to credit that last behind to Williams, which came off the pack, I've got his tally down as 4 for the game. Brisbane 9-4, Collingwood 6-9.
O'Keefe to put the ball back into play, and this time he goes long towards Ischenko. Monkhorst with him, goes the punch, brings it to ground at the back of the pack. Tony Shaw under pressure. Oh, that looked like a throw. They're lenient with those. It finds Williams towards Starcevic. O'Keefe arrives late, makes the spoil and brings it down to Bain at the front of the pack, who palms it towards Ashcroft. Hand pass to Gastev. Hand pass looking for Campbell is intercepted by Monkhorst. He gets his hand pass off towards Shaw. Under pressure, kicks along the half-forward flank, and it's out on the full. And so a free kick to the Bears, Gastev, as Tony Shaw tried to keep it in play but couldn't quite manage to. Chipped across ground by Gastev into centre half back to Bain, who's had many possessions. He kicks long towards Merritt in midfield. Can't mark. Off the pack taken by Francis for Collingwood. Tried to thread the hand pass through the legs of Ischenko, who closed his legs and blocked the ball. Stremple to Campbell, and now on towards McLean, who swings the Bears into attack. Front position to the Bears, spoiled from Dacos. Brings it to ground about 30 metres from goal. Picked up by Kerrison, a hand pass to Banks. Collingwood off the hook. Banks a clearing kick out towards the wing. Brown leads the Notty. It bounces unkindly for both of them. Picked up for the Bears by Wern. Kicks into the centre. No one there. Taken by Francis. Hand pass to Williams. Another one to Krzyzka. 65 from goal. Goes long. Goes very long. And kicks are behind. I think it's been touched.
Free kick to the Bears, Tim.
A Bears free kick to Lester Smith, who plays on very quickly and delivers to half-back to Gastev.
Yes, they're trying to shepherd through and they drag Lester Smith down. Gastev takes the mark, gets the ball away to Wern. Wern kicks up towards wide of centre. Marked by Matthew Ryan of the Brisbane Bears. They've got loose men. A nice pass on to Hamilton. Hamilton goes long towards the pocket to Hardy. And the ball coming right down that right of stand wing, and there wasn't a Collingwood player within cure of the ball in its transit whatsoever. And Brad Hardy, who played a shocking game last week and playing his 250th senior game, taking Western Australia, Footscray and Brisbane Bears into account today, has had a dream start with 3 goals before half-time, and it may be his 4th. He's 25 metres out, and it's a little bit to the right. He's hung his head in. Yep, just look back, and you can tell by the body language he just poked the ball a little to the right for a behind. Collingwood 6-9-45, Brisbane 9-5-59.
Golden opportunity that. It would have been a very handy one a couple of minutes into time on. As it is, the Bears lead by 14 points, but 19 would have been even nicer. Kick in, Bain and Shaw, the 222s, neither can mark. Bain's been tremendous. He battles on and wins the ball. Chips it in towards Stremple under pressure. Well done by the first game. Asaka's off the ground to Campbell. Hand pass to Gastev, who tries to beat a couple. He does beat them. He gives a hand pass to Ryan, who goes for goal and puts it through. And the Bears do lead by 20 points. They're 10-5-65. The Magpies 6-9-45. And we're very close to half-time. 27.5 minutes gone in the second term. Around the grounds. First, David Mackay at the MCG.
Melbourne by 13 points at the 18-minute mark. Melbourne 12-5-77. Lead North Melbourne 10-4-64. Phil Pennell.
Richmond by 27 points at the 24-minute mark. 9-7-61 is their score. The Roys are 4-10-34 Clulo.
Dunstall is playing Footscray on his own. Hawthorn are 8 goals to 50. Dunstall's got 6 of those. Footscray are 10-4-64.
From the centre bounce, Monkhorst gets the knockdown, but socketed off the ground by O'Keefe. It's picked up by Gastev. The Bears go forward again, punched away from O'Brien by Gafer, but straight to Ryan. He's tackled by Francis, who looks at the umpire and says, what about a free kick? But play goes on to Collingwood's advantage. Tony Shaw, the hand pass on to Brown. Brown goes to centre half forward. No one can mark. Picked up by Russell. Hand pass to Williams. Can he he pick it up? He's 50 out, maybe 60 out. Handball across to Russell. 45 metres out from goal, has hit the post at the railway end. Scotty Russell. Brisbane 10-5-65, Collingwood 6-10-46, the Bears by 19 points.
Wern pokes a little pass. Now the umpire though intercedes and the ball is going to come back and Wern will put it back into play again. We're close to half time. The Bears have kicked 5 goals to 4 in this quarter, so we might have 30-31 minutes. Short chip into play by Wern finds Noonan in the back pocket. He kicks along the rush stand side looking for Campbell. Takes a splendid one-hander and gives a hand pass off now to Ashcroft, who kicks along the wing up towards the half-forward flank. First there will be Christian. It's close to the boundary line. He makes a bit of a meal of it. He cops one from Ischenko and goes down as though poleaxed, and then picks himself up when he realises he's not going to get a free kick, which gives the impression that he wasn't really badly hurt at all. Throw in between the wing and the Bears' half-forward flank.
And the Bears unbearable for these Collingwood supporters on the southern side of the ground. From the throw-in, it's Francis. Hand pass doesn't find its mark to Shaw, who does make good of it eventually. Gives a hand pass to Christian, kicks up towards the wing. Collision of a couple of players. The Bears players go down. And Mark Richardson keeps it in, then kicks the ball off the side of his boot, but it might be all right because Krasiska is there. Bowick barges through, 35 metres out, pumps a hand pass to Starcevic. He's got to go on a wide arc, he's 30 out, kicks it towards the forward pocket. Only Manson can take the mark for Collingwood. But in fact, Lester Smith behind Manson is marked for the Brisbane Bears. It looked a likely sortie for the Pies, but it didn't come off. Lester Smith finds Wern, hand pass on towards Noonan. He in turn over the top there to Campbell, who was grabbed by Tony Shaw. He knocked the ball, came out of the grasp of Campbell and over for a throw-in. Almost half-time here. Brisbane 10-5, Collingwood 6-10. Boundary throw-in. The ball knocked down by O'Keefe. It's Williams of Collingwood there first. He's pretty nippy. Shows a clean pair of heels to Campbell. Kicks the ball up towards the forward pocket. Beline keeps it in. Neatly gives the handball to Starcevic, who wants the hand pass, but he should kick and does. But he's to the left and has put it through for his first behind. 3 goals, 1 to Craig Starcevic. And the Magpies, not with their kicking boots on today. Scoreboard a little bit indecisive there which way it's going to go. It shows 6-11-47 to Brisbane Bears 10-5-65.
Lester Smith, ball in hand to put it back into play. Straight down the middle towards Gastev, who makes it good by marking it at centre half back in front of Krasiska. It was a wobbly old kick and an awkward one to mark at shoulder height. He did it well and he's been a fine player. He plays on a hand pass to McLean, who despite the Barwick tackle gets his kick away and puts the Bears into attack. Hamilton marks it, a hand pass to Gastev, who kept coming, and he delivers to Hardy, who takes the mark at 50, chopping Dacos up.
They better get Dacos off the ground, I reckon.
Hardy from the 50. We'll get back to you on that one, Crackers. Up towards the forward pocket, but Banks soars over the top of Stremple and takes a very fine mark under the scoreboard. An 18-point lead to the Bears. 65 plays 47. 31 and a half minutes second quarter. Banks out to half-back. Ischenko and Monkhorst. Neither can mark. At the falls, Zanotti tries to knock it on. Ineffective, though. Monkhorst has it. Kick smothered. Picked up by Brown. A hand pass to Shaw. Thinks about a hand pass to Francis, but then a little tunnel kick on towards Christian, who runs into Campbell, who's been outstanding. There's the siren. And is the hooting for the umpires, or is it for the home team from their own supporters at half-time? They must be disappointed in them, because the Brisbane Bears are 10-5-65, leading Collingwood 6-11-47 by 18 points at the halfway mark at Victoria Park. And the early upset of the 91 season is well and truly on the cards. Let's check out the scores before we take a short news break. Firstly, David Mackay at the MCG.
By 14 at quarter time. Brisbane 10-5, Collingwood 6 goals 11. Manson in ruck, but Ischenko wins down to Campbell. The Bears go forward. Campbell's kick knocked away by Christian, picked up by Mullane. Handball across to Gafer. Gafer's left foot kick across the half-back line, picked up by Noonan of Bears. A bad hand pass that didn't find its mark. Gafer's kick is smothered though, picked up there by Merritt. Gives the hand pass. And the Bears go forward through Campbell. Hand pass on to Stremple. Bain open goal from 35 metres out from goal is to the right and through for a Brisbane behind. So they get the first score in the third term and move to 10-6-66 to Collingwood 6-11-47.
Another Brisbane Bear behind. And what a great start it would have been to them if Bain had kicked that, and it wasn't a difficult shot. He wasn't under too much pressure, not too far out, and he kicked in accurately. At the kick in, Mullane, who's had one possession already, climbs high but doesn't mark. Russell runs onto it, gives a long hand pass to no one in particular. Anderson runs onto it, fumbles, gets it back, gives it to Tony Shaw, who looks for the floater across to Russell. It doesn't reach him. Bain knocks it towards Champion, who is thinking about where he's going to go before he collects the ball. In goes Merritt, does well to break it open, gets it to Wern, kicks with the left and finds Ischenko. The big bloke's done a great job, but I wonder if he's fit enough to play out 4 quarters. Hand pass to Bain, a knock on to Hardy. A hand pass towards McLean, who's got 3 metres on Manson. He swings it back towards goal. No one able to mark. He didn't really go for the sticks. It was a nudge kick to full forward and off players out of bounds in the forward pocket. As I thought McLean could have kicked a goal there, and Stanley didn't seem to believe he could kick the distance.
I thought he thought he had a man much closer than he did, and he tried to just kick round the corner rather than straightening up, as you said, and really putting his boot into it.
The boundary throw-in drops very short because it was a very high one, knocked on by Manson. The ball comes outside 50. McLean is there. And also Williams. McLean's got the front position. The ball is this way, that way. Picked up by Williams eventually. Plenty of early speed over the first couple of steps and kicks the ball for Collingwood up towards the half-forward line. Brown is there with Zanotti, and Zanotti knocks it over unintentionally. Collingwood fans thought for a split moment it may have been intentional, but it certainly wasn't. And there'll be a boundary throw in between wing and half-forward. The Magpies kicking to our right. We're broadcasting from the wing on the southern side of Victoria Park, and the Magpies kicking towards the Yarra Falls end. And it's on their half-forward line from the boundary throw-in. There's a push against Collingwood Starcevic, and the free kick or free hand pass goes to Ischenko. Handball on to Wern. Floats the handball over the top to Ashcroft. He's on the half-back line. Steadies, kicks in towards half-forward, but there's no method there. It was meant for Hamilton. It didn't find its mark, and Turner marks. Plays on quickly. Foot pass on the bounce to Williams. He's about a kick and a half out from goal, and his kick has dropped short. It was meant for Dacos and marked there by Bain. Bain goes short on the bootlaces of McLean at half-back. Handball to Gastev. A little bit slow. Dragged down from behind. The loose ball picked up by Krasiska. This way, that way. Gets around Campbell. Runs up towards centre half forward. A hefty kick by Krasiska. It could be shepherded through by Mark Richardson. No, he threw out the hand and touched it. And it's gone through for a behind to Collingwood, kicked by Krasiska. Now, I heard someone say in the box there's a fairly hefty breeze out there. Was it you, Stan, or Crackers?
No, Peter picked it up, and I think he's right. It could be about a 4 to 5 goal breeze, the way that windsock's standing up now.
Collingwood's way, Stan.
Yes.
So they really have to do something in this quarter. Now, we saw them in very similar circumstances in the opening round against Footscray, and they did it that day. Can they do it again? They're not playing like it at the moment. O'Keefe, a short kick to Ashcroft. A hand pass to Lester Smith as the Bears are playing with confidence and method. He kicks to the centre. No one able to mark off the pack. McLean can't quite grab it at the first attempt. Keeps it in front of him, though. Sockers it up towards half forward. In hard goes Williams. Can't control the ball. Francis there to lend a hand. Oh, he's tackled high and hard by Noonan. And that will be not a relay free kick. Umpire Goldspink comes in. Crowd saying, report him, take his number. But umpire Goldspink just has a conciliatory word in the ear of Danny Noonan. And the ball coming back to Francis because the free kick, the infringement and the delivery of the ball occurred simultaneously. Goes across ground to Mullane. A hand pass to Kerrison. Pushed off his kick and it's a shocker. Just reaches the centre. Merritt in there using his considerable weight. But so's Manson. He knocks it Collingwood's way, but Champion knocks it back to Bears' way. It's still on the centre line. Taken by Christian. A hand pass to Mullane with the big mattress around his leg. With the left boot. Delivers to Anderson, who takes the mark between centre and half forward. Has a look for targets.
There's no one there.
And now delivers straight to Bain. They seem to have an extra man dropping into a hole, and Collingwood don't know how to break it up. Bain tackled, dispossessed. The ball loose. Picked up by Ashcroft. A hand pass to O'Keefe is good. He's in the clear. He delivers wide to Noonan. They seem to have loose men everywhere. Noonan marks behind the wing. Gives the hand pass to McLean. 5 metres on Manson. One bounce. Steadies. On the left. Goes towards O'Brien's lead. Well nudged out by Banks. Ball taken by Gaper. Brilliantly tackled by O'Brien. Hand pass to McLean. Another hand pass to Noonan. Swings at Goldwood. High, long, into the square. Hardy shepherds, but it's forced through for a behind. The Bears thrusting at goal. 10-6, 10-7, 67. Collingwood 6-12, 48. 5.5 minutes, third term.
The kick in by Kerrison. Collingwood had men loose on either side of the ground. It's got to come back.
We might just check the other scores. David, there'll be no play at the MCG. Phil, Princes Park.
Only just started. No change to the half-time scores, Tim.
Clelo.
We're 7 minutes into this quarter and already Hawthorn have kicked one goal. They trail by 14 points. It's 11-5-71. Footscray, Hawthorn 9-3-57.
Back here at Victoria Park, a perfect day for you people interstate listening on 3LO network stations. Brisbane 10-7, Collingwood 6-12. Now the secondary kick in by Kerrison. Up goes Mullane, who slipped himself in front of the pack and took a mark and plays on quickly. Has a bounce, draws a player, hand pass to Barwick in trouble, hand pass in hope more than anything. Was meant for Francis, I think, picked up by McLean. Handball onto Ashcroft on the attacking side of the centre, kicks into centre half forward. Up goes Manson, kick off the ground by Hardy. It's gone through. Hardy's kick went off the ground. Manson appealing for the free kick. He certainly didn't mark it. He had a couple of purchases on it, but when it really counted to take the third one, the most decisive one, he couldn't do it. It fell to the ground, and Hardy socketed the ball off the ground for his fourth goal. And the Bears go further ahead, 11-7, 73 to Collingwood 6-12, 48. Hardy's fourth.
Yes, and well called, Smooth. I agree with everything you said then. And it was interesting too that a number of times already when that ball is spilt, the Collingwood defenders, when they go and if the ball's not marked by their players or it spills one way, they tend to just stop. Whereas the Bears, they go at it. If they miss it, they pounce back. McLean and Ashcroft have been perfect examples of this. And those two players have made something out of nothing on a number of occasions, and they are looking much sharper.
At the bounce, Manson gets the better of Ischenko, gets it down to Shaw on the attacking side of the pack. He puts Collingwood into an attack. No one can mark. Kraziska has it, but is brilliantly tackled by Champion and pulled to ground. Picked up by McLean. Short kick finds Bain. They are doing everything right. Bain just behind the centre line for the Bears, who lead by 25 points. Yes, they lead by 25. 7.5 third quarter. Bain up to half forward. No one can mark. Oh, the Bears with method. A hand pass from Stremple to Hardy. A left footer up to full forward. It's loose. Hamilton snaps at goal. He's kicked a couple already, and he has kicked another one. And there is an audible groan from the Magpies supporters as the Bears have kicked the first 2 goals of the third quarter, and they are running away from the Magpies. Brisbane 12-7-79, the reigning premiers 6-12-48. The difference is 31 points. Around the grounds, Phil Pennell, what's the score at Princes Park?
Richmond by 20 points at the 3-minute mark, 9-9, 63 to Fitzroy, 5-13, 43 Clearway.
9 minutes into this third quarter and there's still 14-point advantage to Footscray, 71 to 57.
Football on 3LO, almost starting at VFL Park, at the MCG in the second half there. Score from there shortly. From the centre bounce, the Bears go forward, but not very far, and there'll be a ball up about 15 metres from that centre circle, but the Brisbane Bears just marginally into attack. They're very supportive of one another, just patting each other on the back there for just holding up that ball. Brisbane 12-7-79, Collingwood 6-12-48. There's the ball up, and it was about 50-50. The ruckman Bain emerges. Russell grabbing him, but Bain got a kick in, knocked on by McLean. It comes down towards Merritt. Merritt to Ashcroft. Ashcroft a long kick in towards the forward pocket, and it's to the right, and it's out of bounds on the full. Free kick to Collingwood to be taken by Shane Kerrison. Brisbane 12-7, Collingwood 6-12.
Crackers almost point of no return time.
I was just going to say it might be getting near beat the traffic.
Now, Gafer from the back pocket will kick out towards Christian, who just takes the sun out of his eyes for the moment. Then, as the ball gets closer, withdraws the hand from his eyes to take it with 2 hands with the mark in front of the Social Club stand. Around the rider stand side he goes. Up goes Champion, can't mark. Ball flicked out by Starcevich, but straight to Campbell of Brisbane Bears, who kicks in towards the forward pocket. Banks there with O'Brien. Loose ball to Hamilton. Goal number 4, and he's put it through. And that could be the point of no return we've been talking about. Another goal to the Brisbane Bears, kicked by Shane Hamilton. 4 goals straight. 4 to him, 4 to Hardy, and 3 to O'Brien. And they really have cut up the Collingwood defence. Score check, Brisbane 13-7-85, Collingwood 6-12-48. MCG only, David Mackay, have they started yet?
Only just started, Peter, and it's still the same score.
No change, okay.
85 plays 48 at Victoria Park. A fairly predictable scoreline, except it's the wrong way round. The Bears are in front by 37 points. At the bounce, Ischenko up, very physical, but kicked off the ground by Anderson. Up towards half forward, running onto it, Starcevich. Knocks it to Richardson, hand pass to Starcevich, who's kicked 3 of Collingwood 6, and this time he should kick his 4th, but he doesn't. It's way off line and through for a behind. And the Magpies are 6-13-49. The Bears are 13-7-85, so from just one more scoring shot, they've achieved a 36-point lead, and the Magpies are in deep, deep trouble on their home ground.
Kick in by Wern. Got a call from O'Keefe, but he was outnumbered 2-1. Francisco comes in between a Collingwood player and O'Keefe to mark. He's 65 metres out from goal. Will go long towards Mark Richardson. He's in the forward pocket. Starcevic there too, and he's marked in front of the pack, Starcevic. He was first in line of 4, and he almost played that as if Collingwood was kicking into the breeze.
Manson off crackers, dragged, or is it just a rucking swap?
I'd say it'd be a rucking swap.
Starcevic, right forward pocket, kicks for goal, and he's kicked it to the left and through for behind to Collingwood. Starcevic 3 goals too, but not gaining a great deal for Collingwood's cause. Brisbane 13-7, Collingwood 6-14, and we've played just over 11 minutes in this third quarter.
Now, Wern deliberating. Robert Walls, of course, with numerous plays from the kick in. He was the man who really introduced them, and Wern has a long think about it. Nischenko takes a terrific mark over the top of Starcevic. He has been gallant today. He feeds a hand pass off to Campbell, who's been excellent. He delivers to midfield. Merritt poised over the ball. Can't do any business. Picked up by Dacos, and the crowd becomes expectant. He kicks towards a long lead from Richardson from full forward. A hand pass to Mullane on the left boot. Goes towards an unguarded goal, but he's off direction. And all the Magpies are doing is blazing away, and it's another minor. They're 6-15-51. The Bears are 13-7-85 as we check out the scores. David Mackay.
26-point lead to Melbourne at the 3.5-minute mark. Melbourne 16-8-104. North Melbourne 12-6-78. Phil Pennell.
Richmond by 27 points at the 8-minute mark. 10-10-70 to Fitzroy. 5-13-43 Clearo.
14 minutes gone, and Footscray have got another goal. They're 12 goals, 6-78 to Hawthorn, 9-3-57.
Well, from that behind by Collingwood's Mullane, the ball kicked up towards the half-back line. Collingwood worked it forward, but towards Mark Richardson. In fact, there's going to be a free kick. I'm not quite sure what for. Deliberate. Francis, 45 metres out, kicks in towards the goal square. Up goes Mark Richardson, and is marked about 3 or 4 metres out from goal.
I tell you what he did.
He didn't give the ball back to the umpire. That is absolutely ridiculous. The player thought he wasn't out. He just dropped the ball at his feet, and the central umpires ran in and overruled and said you should have given the ball back and paid the free.
Now Richardson right in front at the Yarra Falls end, comes in for his second goal and puts it through. And to say the Magpies needed that is an understatement. Well, it is an understatement. They need about 4 or 5 to get back in this match before three-quarter time. 13 minutes in the third term at Victoria Park. Brisbane 13-7-85, Collingwood 7-15-57. Stan?
Yes, well, I think that a comment was just made before about method, and really that's been the difference in this quarter. Collingwood have tended just to haphazardly blaze away, and they could do with that goal then, albeit very lucky, whereas the Bears into the wind have had much more method about the way they're going about it, and it's going to need enormous effort from Collingwood from here.
Monkhorst back, gets it down to Anderson, who kicks it 10 metres. Mullane tries to mark, can't do so, and the Bears are into attack through Campbell up to half forward. Christian versus Merritt at ground level, and Merritt wins this one, but he runs into a Brown tackle, drops the ball. It's picked up by Christian, kicks it back towards the centre. Tony Shaw parks his body over the top of it and gets a free kick for a push in the back. As he and another Bears player were dead heating in their run at the ball, Shaw got over the ball first and drew the free. He kicks towards Williams, who gets around Zanotti. He kicks over half forward to Dacos, half volley, traps it brilliantly. A hand pass to Krzyzewska, 55 metres from goal. Long kick, Richardson with 2 to beat. Can't do so, it falls out into the pocket. In goes Francis for Collingwood, under the scoreboard, on the boundary line, nowhere to go. Handball's away from goal. It's knocked the Bears' way by Wern. Lester Smith now kicks it off the ground, and the Bears have got themselves off the hook. Monkhorst there for Collingwood, snatched straight out of his hands by Noonan, puts the Bears into attack. Hardy with a hectare, has a bounce, reaches 50, has another, balances, goes for home, and it might be marked for the Bears. It is. Is it Stremple in the forward pocket, left forward pocket. Very acute angle. The field umpire places the man on the mark as Stremple lines them up. Now left forward pocket so he can run around, cut the angle. He doesn't. He goes straight towards the sticks, kicks at goal, and he's off direction and kicks a minor. The Bears 13-8-86. The Magpies 7-15-57. And the difference is 29 points, 15 and a half minutes into the third term. We've got time to whip around the ground. Swan Mackay.
Melbourne by 32 points at the 7-minute mark. Melbourne 17-8, 110. North Melbourne 12-6, 78. Phil Pennell.
It's Richmond by 17 points, 10-12, 72 to Fitzroy 7-13, 55 at the 11-minute mark. Clearly.
We're 16 minutes into this quarter and Dunstall's just kicked his 8th. Footscray at 12-6, 78. Hawthorn 11-4, 70.
Well, back here at Victoria Park, the kick in from that behind by Kerrison, marked by McLean. He's kicked it towards centre half forward, but off the pack it comes, and it's picked up by Anderson. So Collingwood out of trouble. McLean's kick, a very ordinary one. It's been marked by Krasiska. Yes, on the attacking side of the centre. Pumps a hand pass to Tony Shaw. Draws a player. Handball over the top to Francis. Collingwood kicked the ball down towards Starcevich, who's marked about 35 metres out from goal. And just before that last Brisbane Bears behind, I thought Collingwood may have just slipped themselves into a higher gear. As Starcevich leans back on it, it's not a good one. It's almost right across the face. In fact, it is.
Second time today he's kicked out of bounds.
Yep, and it's out on the full, and the free kick will go to the Brisbane Bears to be taken by O'Keefe. It's Brisbane 13-8, 86. Collingwood trail by 31, 7-15, 57. The kick by O'Keefe, and it's been deliberately knocked out of bounds by Campbell. But I think the umpire in charge may have just been on the wrong side of that, as he just didn't try at all to keep the ball into play and flicked it with his open hand towards the boundary from about 2 or 3 metres out. Brisbane 13-8, Collingwood 7-15.
Ischenko and Monkhorst jostling. It's a real wrestling match. Ischenko does well, brings it down to Bain, who's superbly tackled by Anderson. And the ball in dispute, brilliantly won by Williams for Collingwood. Shocking kick, though, off the side of the boot. Falls out onto the half-forward flank. Bounces beautifully for Mullane, who helps it onto Richardson. Banana kick from the impossible angle. And he, too, has put it out on the full. In the same pocket, a free kick going to Champion.
He had 3 players right in front of the goals, Dacos, Krasiska and that. He only had to chip it to them, the young boy, and he just didn't look. I'm sure Lee wouldn't be happy with that. He tried the banana and he could have just centred it, and they were unmarked, the 3 Collingwood players.
Just as well we didn't have the glasses on Dad that time. We might have done some lip reading.
Champions free kick for that out on the full by Mark Richardson in the back pocket. The arrow falls in. He plays around the young fellow. Gains good meterage too. Runs up to centre half back. Kicks in towards the centre square. Brown punches the ball away. The ball from Noonan, but the loose ball does go to Noonan. Gets a hand pass onto Strimple. He in turn the pass, some sort of pass anyway, onto Campbell. It came via Ashcroft onto Bain. Bain's foot pass marked by Gastev, and they have a man up the half forward line. Zanotti on the point of the square. Goes in towards Hardy in front of Turner. And Hardy now in front of the Bob Rowe stand, about 50 metres out from goal, just a few metres in from the boundary, so he probably won't kick it. I'm sure Peter McKenna would have in days gone by. He's going to land it in the goal square, punched away by Banks at the base of the pack. Bain has a snapshot for goal. Luckily doesn't get quite onto it. Picked up by Gaper. Handball onto Tony Shaw. The Maggies under siege but out of trouble for the moment. And Turner marks at centre half back as the Bears lead by 86 points to 57.
And he runs around Brad Hardy. He has a bounce. He steadies himself now and kicks Collingwood into attack. Krasiska up. Can't mark. Perhaps should have held on to that, not under too much pressure. Taken away from him by Lester Smith. Goes out to Champion, wide on the wing, but he takes the mark, and he's played like one today. He gives a hand pass while still on his knees to McLean, who's been superb. He kicks to half forward. Merritt and Tony Shaw. Merritt interested in jostling, ran right under the ball, and Shaw marked unopposed. Hand pass to Turner. Hand pass to Christian. Unloads towards half forward, but it's another terrible kick. Now Mullane leads Zanotti in the race for the ball. Captain snooze around the leg. Takes the long arc onto the left. Then tries to go back onto the right. Then sidesteps. Now he's got 2 against him. He kicks with the left and it lands about where he started. And it's surrounded by Brisbane Bears. Gastev tries to knock it to a teammate. Intercepted by Dacos. Hand pass to Russell. A hand pass to Francis inside 50. Goes for home and guess where it's gone? Out on the full in the right forward pocket again. The Bears 13-8-86. Collingwood 7-15-57. We've just crossed 20 minutes in the third quarter.
There used to be a leather magnet in the old Arden Street ground down towards that right forward pocket at the Vards end. I think it's come here this afternoon. Now the kick by Brisbane Bears marked by Monkhorst, 65 out. The centering kick, Mark Richardson and Starcevich off pack. Who's going to know? There's no one there for Collingwood. Gastev emerges, played very well. Gastev finds Campbell On the 50-metre line, hand pass intercepted by Mullane, but he can't make good of it because he goes to ground. Tied it up by Campbell. Hand passes back towards Collingwood's half-forward line, picked up by Williams. Handball to Russell, but they're tackling well. Not much space to get through. Russell's hand pass to Kosiska, and he'll get a free kick. There was a tackle there by Bain, which I think was more in intent. I think he may have just gone with his head, may have just cocked his shoulder. The umpire, or elbow, was certainly side onto it. And Prasiska seemed to take evasive action, although he was spinning on a 180-degree angle at the time. And Rod Lester-Smith just querying that decision with the field umpire. But it's against Bain and Prasiska. Now the breeze will bring it. He's on the right half-forward flank from left to right. Now that's where he's aimed it. It's a pretty high one. The breeze has no trouble getting underneath it, and it drags it away. Not much thought behind the kick by Prasiska. Let's check the scoreboard as we see 21 minutes on the clock. Brisbane 13-8, Collingwood 7-16.
David Mackay at the MCG.
Melbourne by 35 points at the 13-minute mark. Melbourne 17-11, 113. North Melbourne 12-6, 78. Phil Pennell.
Richmond 11-13, 79 with a 24-point advantage over Fitzroy, 7-13, 55. 15 minutes gone. Clearly.
23 minutes gone in this third quarter at the Park, and Footscray a 13-7, 85, hanging on. Hawthorn a 12-4, 76, 9 points advantage to Footscray.
Could be a beauty at Waverley. Clelo's got the close one now. The Bears clear to the centre, but Barwick marks for Collingwood. Kicks to half forward. Starcevic in front of Champion, who makes a good spoil. Bain tackled as he takes the crumb. Dispossessed. He's still over the ball, though. It was at Noonan who's giving him some support, and he takes it over the boundary line, and it will be thrown in on Collingwood's left half-forward flank. 22 minutes gone, third quarter, and the Bears lead the Magpies by no less than 28 points. From the throw-in, Starcevic in possession. Swinging kick, very, very high, and Mullane marks it, but gives away a free kick in so doing, and Zanotti will take it to the hostility and chagrin of Collingwood supporters. Zanotti's free between fullback and halfback. Kicks towards the centre. No one able to mark. A bit of aerial ping-pong. Eventually taken by Gastev. Tackled, dispossessed. Same fate befalls Gavin Krasiska. And umpire McKernan comes in and will ball it up just Collingwood's attacking side of the centre.
The Bears by 28 points. 23 minutes in this third term. Footy on 3LO network stations. Zanotti knocks it down, but Shark by the rover Shaw kicks up with his wrong foot towards half forward. Gaster gets a bad bounce. A good one for Dacos. Lines up. The breeze will bring it back, and does. Collingwood eventually get the goal. Dacos kicked it. And a shocking bounce for Johnny Gaster. It almost went at right angles. He attacked the ball, and it went straight into the arms of Peter Dacos, and from about 35 metres out, kicked it high. The breeze coming across the ground towards that right pocket at the Yarra Falls end, grabbed it late, and it has gone through. Brisbane 13-8, 86. Collingwood 8-16, 64. Stan.
And I think the Pies will need a little bit more of that luck, because Peter Dacos, you were very, very lucky. He wandered over. He was not going to make no effort in that contest whatsoever, and all of a sudden he found the ball in his hands.
Didn't he know what to do with it once he got it, though? He used the wind. The Magpies win it out of the centre. Williams drives them goalward up to full forward. Richardson up at the fall of the ball. Starcevic, open goal. Fans reckon the Magpies are back in town. They're only 16 points down, and they haven't been that close for a long time. The Bears 13-8, 86. The Magpies 9-16, 70. 24 minutes in the quarter. Crackers, are they back in town?
Well, they're starting to show a little bit of class. They're using the wind. They've got 5 more minutes of this wind, and they've got to make the most of it and get at least get level, and then it'll take some true championship fighting spirit to get back in the last quarter. But maybe the Bears are getting a little tired.
The Bears by 16 points here at Victoria Park. Centre bounce, Ishchenko and Monkhorst. Up they go. Monkhorst wins. Tony Shaw went underneath the ball. Francis there, burrowing but going the wrong way. Shaw tries to get a handball away. The ball taken there by Ashcroft. Hand passes back in towards that centre circle where the ball is now. Kicked off the ground by Russell of Collingwood. Kicked off the ground by Campbell of Brisbane Bears towards Merritt. Merritt's now kicking half out from goal. Kicks towards the forward pocket. The Bears go forward. There could have been a bit of shepherding going on there, but Turner's marked for Collingwood in the back pocket. Now Turner goes short because he sees Gafer on 50, Merritt late. Gafer is still only about 45 metres out from goal. He'll get the hand pass to Turner, who runs up on the right-hand side of him. Through the centre he goes with the kick, looking for Anderson. Wern late on the scene. Anderson gets the free kick for a high tackle. He's about 20 metres on the attacking side of the centre. Then unloads a hand pass to Tony Shaw. Shaw kicks the ball. It was meant for Williams. Up goes Starcevic, though, and is marked outside 50. And he may have cramped just for the moment. He's got his right sock down.
So they're still on his foot.
Yeah, on the back of the ankle,
Yep.
I reckon, after he took the mark.
And it's not very painful either, that.
He's kicked 4 goals too, Starcevic. He's coming in from the right angle with this breeze. He'll kick from 50. He keeps it reasonably low, but it's not good. It's to the left, very much to the left, in fact, and through for out on the full. So the score remains the same, 13-8-86 to Collingwood. That's Brisbane, 9-16-70. A quick score from David Mackay only.
35-point lead to Melbourne at the 17-minute mark. Melbourne 17-11, 113. North Melbourne 12-6-78.
O'Keefe kicks out to half-back, stolen by Francis. He's inside 50, but under pressure, kicks very high in the air. Dacos against about 3. At the fall of the ball, Russell can't take it. Kicked away off the ground by Bain, out through half-back to Zanotti, who for the second time has a bounce and hits the ground too hard, and it goes over his shoulder. In goes Mullane, hand passes backwards to Bowie. The sweeping hand pass to Williams, 60 from goal. Centering kick towards Anderson and also Richardson, but it doesn't carry to either. And there's a Bears mark being taken by Gastev, about 30 metres out from the Collingwood goal front.
And he Gastev taken out of him too, I think, Tim.
He has. He copped one, an attempted spoil, missed the football completely, but made a lot of contact with Johnny Gastev's cranium. And he's in a lot of trouble, so much so that he can't take his kick. And the ball at the moment is in the hands of Champion. And that nose of Gastev's that you referred to earlier, Smooth, might just have been misshapen a little further. Kick from Champion out to half-back, and Merritt gets a free kick because he was interfered with. He's really having a dip, Big Rog, but the ball really hasn't bounced his way. He kicks towards Ischenko on the wing, and he outmarks Monkhorst. Does it well. Hand pass to Hamilton. A left footer up towards the half-forward flank. Might be a Bears mark. Yes, it is. Taken by Worsfold, Peter Worsfold, young brother of John, just coming onto the ground. Kicks up towards the forward pocket. Campbell is it takes... No, it's not. It's O'Brien. Takes the mark. Coming out of the shadows in the forward pocket about 45 to 50 metres out. Very difficult shot into the teeth of the wind. I don't think he'll goal from there. He kicks from just inside 50. In fact, the wind's got hold of it and he might be lucky to score. He just registers a behind, and at the 28-minute mark, the Bears are 13-9-87. The Magpies 9-16-70. The difference 17 points. We check the MCG, the other 2 grounds, Phil.
Richmond by 12 points at the 21-minute mark, 11-13-79. Fitzroy, 9-13-67. Ian.
It's 29 minutes. There's only 3 points of difference. Footscray 13-8-86. Hawthorn 13-5-83.
The kick in by Kerris and that O'Brien behind. The ball knocked down, picked up by Williams. Good tackle there by Ashcroft. But the ball spills to Christian from a standing start. Kicks the ball up towards the wing position where Collingwood have 2-on-1. Starcevic cleverly knocks the ball away from Champion straight down to his skipper, who pinpoints Dacos, who marks 55 metres out from goal. Gets a push in the back from Campbell. And the crowd say, what about 50? He goes for the big torp, Dacos. It's going to land up in the left forward pocket. Oh, but Mark Richardson should have marked it, but he does retain the ball. Picks it up, kicks into a Brisbane Bears player. Dacos has got the goal and has put it through for a goal. Dacos has put it through. 3 seconds. A very good left foot snap by Dacos, as Mark Richardson should have just about held that mark, but to his credit, he did chase after the ball and get a possession, kicked into a Brisbane Bears player, the ball rebounded, and Dacos picked up the lucky goal again. Brisbane 13-9-87, Collingwood 10-16-76. Shacky's off the Brisbane Bears, and Johnny Gastev having trouble to see out of his left eye is off the ground.
And that was a better play by Peter Dacos. I was giving a little bit of a bag before, but that time he was involved in the play up the ground and he actually worked. He ran about 40 or 50 metres to get to where the contest was and made something happen out of that goal. That is better play by Peter Dacos, and the best thing is the Pies are starting to string a few together.
The margin 11 points. Monkhorst the knock to Tony Shaw, a hand pass to Turner, unloads towards Dacos at half forward. Oh, almost a slips catch as he went diving after it. Richardson put out of business by a nice hip and shoulder from Lester Smith, and Campbell takes the ball over the boundary line for a throw in. but the Magpies deep in attack. Now an important few seconds for the Bears. We've crossed the 30-minute mark. We've played 30 and a quarter, and the siren can't be far away, and they do not want to concede another goal here. At the throw-in, Richardson has about 3 against him. It falls to the front of the pack, back over the line, courtesy, I'd say, of the 3 big Bears. And it'll be thrown in again as the Magpies desperately seek that goal to be within a kick.
The boundary throw in, Mullane goes up. It spills to Mark Richardson, who fires for goal. With those 3 big Bears there, Dada Bear and Papa Bear and Grandma Bear. And it's gone through for a behind. So Collingwood eroding that big lead that the Brisbane Bears had midway through this third quarter. Brisbane 13-9-87. They're 10 points up on Collingwood now, 10-17-77.
Wern gets a nice lead from O'Keefe and delivers perfectly. O'Keefe runs onto the ball and marks it under no pressure.
The scores are level out here at the park.
Thanks, Clelo. 3/4 time yet?
No.
Okay, still going, and still going here. Mullane runs onto the ball on the wing, puts Collingwood into attack, goes for Starcevic, who's been their most dangerous forward, but he can't keep the ball in play, and it will be thrown in on the half-forward flank, about 60 from goal. Collingwood within 10 points, 10-17-77. The Bears 13-9-87. We have a cliffhanger at Victoria Park.
Out of bounds on 50, boundary throw in. Starcevic knocks it down straight towards Brown. No, it was Francis. Kicks him towards the forward pocket. Dacos is behind. Campbell knocks the ball towards the boundary. Picked up by Francis. Handball on towards... not Williams. It's Anderson. And what's he done? That's to the other side. Out of bounds on the full again. That must be what, Jack, about 5 or 6 times this quarter? 5 times this quarter into that right forward pocket. But the breeze is going into that pocket at the Yarra Falls end. Collingwood 77, Brisbane 87.
Ball cleared out to half-back. Ischenko again flicks it out to the back of the pack, but to Russell, a hand pass to Shaw. Short pass to Christian, 70 metres from goal. Onto the left boot, goes towards Dacos, sets himself, almost marked it. It falls the Bears' way, but Dacos tackling well. However, a hand pass finds Champion. Clearing kick back towards the centre, but straight to Shaw. Hand pass to Christian. Here go the Magpies. 70 from home. Goes long. Richardson there. Marks! The young fellow has got it again for his third. He's only 5 metres out. Difficult angle. Crackers, what's happening?
Tony Shaw is very, very proppy on his ankle. You watch him, he's only walking now, but the trainer's going out to him, but he is very proppy.
Mark Richardson, after the siren, kicks a goal. His third on debut. And at 3/4 time, the margin just 4 points as the Magpies have hit back in the last 10 minutes or so. And suddenly are in the game. At 3/4 time, the Brisbane Bears 13-9-87. Collingwood 11-17-83. Just 4 points in it at Victoria Park. We have a beauty between last year's premiers and wooden spooners. Who would have believed it would have been such a contest? Now, someone was online among
Brisbane. The Rucks, Collingwood winning by 25-15. And those first possessions out of the centre, Brisbane 14, Collingwood 12. And will they get another one, the Brisbane Bears? As Noonan is grabbed, he's slung to ground by Williams. The ball comes to Monkhorst. And there's going to be, what, a free kick or what? A secondary bounce, a ball up.
Yes, he's ruled that the ball was held to the Brisbane Bear player.
Brisbane Bears 87, Collingwood 83. The first 20 seconds of this final term at Victoria Park. Knocked down by Schenko, beauty to Campbell. He breaks clear and will get a first possession for the Brisbane Bears. Up towards full forward, the ball beats the pack with the breeze that may have intensified a little bit because that ball did carry. The players were very much underneath it. And once it pitched, it really rolled in towards that forward pocket with a great forward thrust. Brisbane 13-9, Collingwood 11-17 at Victoria Park. It'll be Christian in ruck along with Merritt. Merritt won, but Gavin Brown came in on the end of it and got a free kick. He sharked that good piece of palming by Merritt, and he got a push in the back, Gavin Brown, and will take the free kick. Brown now around that scoreboard side. Kicks outside 50. Up goes Monkhorst, can't mark. Ischenko's there. Ischenko gives Monkhorst one around the back, I can tell you. Handball by a Bears player finds Hardy. Hardy's kicking towards full forward to O'Brien. It went through his hands, but he was going backwards at the time. Picked up there by Kerrison. Knocks the ball out towards Gaffer. Gaffer gives the handball on to Tony Shaw, who Crackers picked up before 3/4 time. Was limping with that ankle, and one would imagine it'll be another couple of weeks before that ankle gets strong again. Brisbane 87, Collingwood 83.
Just under 2 minutes into the final term. At the throw-in, a wrestling match, and Stremple goes to ground and comes out of it with a free kick. Gets a good lead from Shackey. Is it? No, it's Hamilton up on the half-forward flank, and he's taken the mark at the 50. He's too far out to kick a goal, but he can put it pretty close. In fact, he's having a good look at the sticks. The paper's out on the ground, the waste paper. The litter is blowing all over the place just near him, just on the other side of the boundary line. All staying out of bounds, fortunately. His kick holds up, banks underneath it, and virtually unopposed takes the mark in the back pocket. Looking for targets on the other side of the ground. Decides it's a bit risky. Goes down the same flank as he's on, towards Brown, who reads it well but can't mark it. His touch hasn't quite been there today. He's held, though, when not in possession here, and wins a free kick for Collingwood on the half-back flank. Swan, have you got three-quarter time?
Yes, Tim, at three-quarter time, Melbourne lead by 47 points. Melbourne 20-12, 132. North Melbourne 13-7, 85.
Now the kick by Brown up towards the wing, and the ball was just out. Anderson pounced on it for Collingwood and was off. But the boundary umpire had different ideas. Just looking back on play, former teammates Matthew Ryan and Peter Dacos having a nice old chin wag behind play there. From the throw-in, Starcevich knocks it down, but it was meant for Tony Shaw, but Bain chipped in and got the possession, and also an infringement, will take the free kick. And now from the wing, a centering kick towards half forward. Shaw is there for, not Shaw, it was Turner for Collingwood, couldn't mark. The ball comes behind to Kerrison, handball onto Turner, handball onto Shaw this time. Through the centre he goes with a little dabby kick, finds Starcevich on the attacking side of the centre. Plenty of time to look for Dacos in front of Ryan and marks. 40 metres out directly in front.
Great delivery, wasn't it? That terrific. Was a perfect pass.
Beautiful pass. About a metre or so off the ground, maybe just a fraction lower than that. And the pleasantries forgotten of some half a minute ago as Dacos beat Ryan. Kicks for goal, and the Pies in front by 2 points. Collingwood 12-17, 89. Brisbane 13-9, 87. Have the Pies been in front at all, Jack? In this match they were in the first quarter. I know it was, 6 goals to 2 at one stage for Brisbane, but the Pies back in front. 4 minutes in the final term, 12-17, 89 to Brisbane 13-9, 87. And Dacos gets his third goal via a terrific pass from Craig Starcevich.
And I think Collingwood's illustrated the way that if they're going to win this game, that's what they've got to do. They've got to run the ball into this breeze. It means a lot of hard work by players up the forward line to make targets, and that's exactly what happened that time.
Halfway through the third quarter, they were 37 points down, and they've kicked the last 6 goals to be in front. And from the ball up, Tony Shaw held when not in possession. Takes a free kick, chips across ground at Turner, up from the back half. Kicks up over the half-forward flank to Starcevich, who's been superb today, a four-quarter player when Collingwood have had virtually none. He's just inside 50 as the Magpies are assaulting the sticks. He goes long to full forward. Richardson has 2 in front of him, has to go the spoil to Mullane, over his head, and kicks a goal. And the Magpies lead by 8 points. And suddenly the Bears' wheels are looking very rickety. Collingwood 13-17-95, Brisbane 13-9-87. Collingwood 8 points in front, 5 minutes into the last quarter at Victoria Park, and they've kicked the last 7. It's three-quarter time at the MCG. Melbourne are safe there. They're in front by 47 points. Checking the other grounds, Phil Pennell.
Fitzroy by 8 points at the 3-minute mark, 11-14, 80 to Richmond, 11-13, 79 Clever.
Well, we're 8 metres into this last quarter, and Footscray, despite some shocking decisions by the umpires, lead by 1 goal. They're 14-10 to 13-10.
From the centre bounce, Monkhorst down to Francis, across to Williams, who kicks the ball out towards the wing. It's going to be a Collingwood free kick to Dougie Barwick. Right in front of our broadcasting position, and haven't the crowd come alive in the last few minutes here at Victoria Park on this southern wing.
We've all got the close ones, Smooth, except for poor old David Mackay and Tommy Hafey.
Collingwood 95, Brisbane 87. The kick by Barwick, almost marked by Mullane. He took it the first grab inside the boundary, then went out with the second and third grabs. He played on, but it was pretty good umpiring by the boundary umpire. But Collingwood about 65 metres out to the railway goal, left half forward flank as you look down Victoria Park. Starcevich a palm to the side. It was meant for Tony Shaw, but Francis is there, gets a push in the back by Ashcroft, and the ball comes out of his grasp and over for a boundary throw-in. The Bears led by 14 points at quarter, by 18 at half, and by 4 at three-quarter time. And now Collingwood in front. Starcevich in ruck. He's played a terrific game. Knocked it down towards Gavin Brown, but the ball has been worked over there by Noonan. and it's out of bounds right in front of our commentary position once again. The Magpies 13-17, but 30 scoring shots to 22, 13-9. Boundary throw in Monkhorst, but palms it down to Campbell, who kicks towards the goal, towards the boundary rather, and it's gone out on the full. There was absolutely no method in that hurried kick because there wasn't a player within 25 metres. Tony Shaw's got the free kick. Kicks up towards Starcevic, who takes a very strong mark in front of Zanotti. Feeds the hand pass to Anderson. Sidesteps around Wern. Kicks it towards Dacos. It beats him. The ball has too much carry. On the end of it, almost a dead heat there between Brown and Mullane. Mullane kicks the ball off the ground in towards the pocket, but it's picked up by the Brisbane Bears McLean, who kicks back towards half forward. Zanotti late on the scene as Starcevic keeps the ball in. Anderson will get there first.
Good play. Starcevic went backwards, but he knew he had men there. Anderson kicks into half forward where the Bears have front position, and Campbell, who's been a terrific four-quarter goer for them, takes the mark at centre half back. He sweeps the hand pass to Ashcroft, who kicks off balance up to half forward. The bounce favours Monkhorst. He gets a hand pass with nice poise to Turner. Off to Anderson now. Here go the Magpies. Up towards Mullane at half forward. He's got the sit. Oh, Champion does very well to get a hand on the ball, and he brings it down to Zanotti, who goes for one of those runs that he loves. One bounce and then goes for Merritt, who takes the mark on his chest on the wing. As the Bears now are having to try and find the way home, and they're having trouble doing so. And they have trouble here because Merritt kicks off the side of the boot. And the skipper, to the delight of the Magpies supporters in front of us, who are full of chivalry and would love a close game as long as their team wins it, applauded as it goes out on the full, and Gafer takes the free, kicks back to the wing, but David O'Keefe takes the mark for the Bears to put them back into attack.
I saw Robert Walls at three-quarter time saying, over there, that's on the scoreboard side, bring it in from there, and they really haven't been over there very often this quarter. The kick by O'Keefe, well, they haven't had a chance to go over there, and no one can mark the ball of O'Keefe up on their 50 line. A free kick to Collingwood would be taken by Christian. Probably Shepherding didn't see it. Kicks across the half-back line on the bounce to Barwick. Through the centre. Hand pass to Gafer. On the attacking side of the centre. To Mullane at centre half forward. The interception there by Wern. The ball 40 out from Collingwood's goal. Champion outnumbered for the moment. Picked up by McLean of the Brisbane Bears. And they work it across the half-back line to Ryan. Ryan clears and it's out on the full. In front of those adoring Collingwood fans in the writer's stand. What's happened, Craig?
It's Seppel, whatever his name is, the new player. He's off now with a really bad ankle. When he had to go at Mickey Christian just then, he would have rolled it.
Right now, the free kick went to Russell, who went short to Tony Shaw. That's Strimple, and he's done his ankle. Now, Tony Shaw kicks in towards the half-forward line. Richardson up, but he was between a couple of Bears players. Did well. Loose ball, front of the pack, picked up by Starcevic. Goes long, but totally indirect. Missed them by, well, 15 metres, and it's out on the full. Collingwood 13-17-95, Bears 13-9-87.
And Stanley's become even more suspicious that Starcevic might have backed the Bears. It'll be on the front page of the Sunday paper, Stanley.
Either that or he doesn't want 3 votes.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, good point. McLean kicks along the back pocket, looking for Ashcroft, who has his back pushed, or has the umpire paid the mark? I think Anton McKernan has done the latter. And full marks to him. He's not an umpire I've seen prior to today, but I think both he and Goldspink have done very well. He picks out, Ashcroft picks out O'Brien, who gets a hand pass to Zanotti. Fumbles once, then says to his man, shepherd me, and he goes for a run. He has 2 bounces. He kicks long to full forward, and it's a mark to the Bears. Only 15 metres out from goal, and it's Worsfold who's been kicking bags of goals in the 2s. Rodney Eade told us up at the Gabba last week he was trying to play him as a defender, and Worsfold kept saying, I'm a forward, and he put him into attack, and he kicked something like 6 and 9 in 2 matches, and he might kick an even more important one than those 15 combined, as he comes in and kicks at goal, and he puts it right through the middle, and the Bears are still alive at Victoria Park as the margin is just 2 points. Collingwood 13-17-95, Brisbane 14-9-93. We're 11 minutes in and we have a thriller, but we must check other scores. David Mackay.
Melbourne by 47 points at the 7-minute mark. Melbourne 21-12, 138. North Melbourne 14-7-91. Phil Pennell.
Fitzroy by a point at the 9-minute mark. 12-14, 86 to Richmond. 12-13, 85. Clearo.
14 minutes gone in this last quarter, and Footscray, a 15-12-102 as Dunstall kicks for goal for his 9th. It won't make it. Hawthorn a 13-10. There's another point to them. I'll rephrase it. Footscray 15-12-102. Hawthorn 13-11-89 at the 15-minute mark.
Just a little under 2 goals in it there. And that man in the office yesterday, Tim, who said Collingwood might win by a point, mightn't be far away. From the centre bounds, no, it wasn't Monk, it was Christian who knocked the ball forward. And Noonan runs into a pack. Francis gives a hand pass, but it was intercepted by Ryan, who does pretty well to get away from Krasiska. Kicked the ball right across towards our southern boundary, and it trickles over, not a player within 20 metres, and there'll be a boundary throw-in. The Pies by 2 points here at Victoria Park. 13-17-95. Brisbane 14-9-93. 3 lower network stations. Boundary throw-in as O'Brien tries to take the ball out of the air. Ryan, the hand pass on to Campbell. Campbell about 75 out. Goes in towards centre half forward, and Merritt is marked. 45 metres out directly in front. And this will make it a point of difference if, in fact, the breeze gets it and just takes it a little to the right. But it'll also give Brisbane Bears back the lead by a margin of 4 points. And he, like Warwick Capper last night and like Stuart Lowe and others, goes and takes a divot out somewhere dead centre and will kick from there. But he'll need to aim a little from left to right with that breeze at the Yarra Falls end going into that right forward pocket.
And he'll need to make good contact because he's outside 50.
Yep, here he comes. Merritt, drop punch, keeps it reasonably low. It won't make the distance by a couple of metres, but almost a Brisbane Bears mark down there. The player is underneath that pack. I can only assume it could have been O'Brien. And he gets up now. No, it might have been Schenko. Was it Crackers?
Yeah, Mark is down there on him.
A ball up just metres out from the Brisbane Bears goal. It's in the defensive pocket for Collingwood, though. That's one thing. Up they go and ruck. Monkhorst knocks it down. And Turner runs right across the face of goal. Eludes a tackle from Merritt, then loses it. He'll need support. Monkhorst goes to ground. Attempt to kick off the ground by the Bears. Picked up by Kerrison. And they'll rush it through from behind Collingwood as Banks gets a push in the back. And the margin remains still at 2 points here at Victoria Park. Collingwood 95 and Brisbane Bears 93.
Bit of a test of umpire McKernan's courage and composure there, because Turner, I thought, was very lucky not to be penalised for holding the ball. He had a couple of chances to get rid of it and didn't, and might well have paid the price. And eventually the defenders won a free kick. Kick out to half-back, off the hands of the pack, over the line for a throw-in. Right half-forward flank for the Bears, who trail by 2 points at Victoria Park, where no visiting team has won for a long time. From the throw-in, Noonan has it, but he's dispossessed. Banks tunnels a kick up towards the wing. First there is O'Keefe. Has trouble controlling the ball. Krasiska kicks it off the ground, and it puts Collingwood into attack, but Zanotti's after it. Can't get to it before it crosses the line and will be thrown in. Just Collingwood's attacking side of the wing. Quick score from Phil Pennell at Princes Park.
Richmond are back in front by a goal after a goal to McQueen. At the 13-minute mark, they lead 13-14, 92 to Fitzroy, 12-14, 86.
From the throw-in, Zanotti puts the Bears into attack. It falls off a pack to Krasiska. Banks tackled, dispossessed. Mopping up as Turner threads a hand pass to Christian, another one to Shaw and another one to Banks outside him. He runs to the centre circle, drives Collingwood into attack. It reaches young Richardson on the bounce. He props, he gets around one. He didn't see the other one coming though, and he's tackled and dispossessed. And Noonan cleans up for the Bears, sweeps a hand pass out to Ryan, who fumbles one that should have been a piece of cake. Has time to get it back, kicks with the left and delivers perfectly out to the wing. And the mark taken by Shaki, who short passes to Hardy, who's about 30 metres forward at the centre for the Bears.
Over 15 minutes in the final term. The Pies by 2 points here. Now, kicked by Hardy in towards the forward pocket. Monkhorst punches the ball sideways. Who's there? Kerrison for Collingwood. Hand pass to Tony Shaw over his head. Could be danger. Bain is there. The knock on by Francis back to Tony Shaw. It knocks it cleverly onto Mullane. Mullane quickly threads the hand pass across the half-back line. There wasn't a target there. Mullane outnumbered 2-1. Champion and also Merritt does pretty well. Handball out to Tony Shaw, who kicks up to Krasiska. The ball punched away by O'Keefe. And it's out of bounds on the attacking wing, the southern wing, with the Bears just marginally into attack. Collingwood 95, Brisbane 93. Nearly 16 minutes in this final quarter. Boundary throw-in. Christian knocks it down, but it's picked up by Bain, who kicks in towards centre half forward. A bad bounce again for the Brisbane Bears. Picked up by Turner. Shovels a hand pass to Williams. Through the centre he goes. A long direct kick up towards Dacos, lurking behind the pack. The ball spills to the side from young Richardson, who lets the older fellow go for the ball in Dacos. Dacos finessing, does well. Sidestep beautifully. Lines up, kicks in towards the forward pocket. Up goes Anderson, punches the ball away towards the boundary line. It's gone over for Collingwood behind. Dacos at his best then in that forward 50-metre line. Yeah, 2 to beat and did it well. The Pies by 3 points, 13-18 to Brisbane 14-9.
What a match this is. Now, Wern short passes, but the umpire says the goal umpire hadn't finished flag waving. And so it comes back to Wern, who short passes again, and he finds Ashcroft, who'd run into a little hole between fullback and halfback. Champion and O'Brien are leading. He goes for O'Brien in towards the middle. Christian gets front position, though. O'Brien spoils down to Ryan, who's in the clear. Kicks towards Merritt at half forward. Manhandled by Gafer. Beats Gafer. Held by the jumper. Should have been a free kick. Merritt knocks it on. No receiver there. Hamilton might be a chance, but against him. And knocking the ball out of bounds for Collingwood is Barwick, and that was very close, and you heard sucking in of breath and a few haws. But the field umpire says it wasn't quite deliberate enough, and so there will be a throw in between flank and pocket. The Bears 3 points down in attack, and it's back over the line again. Let's quickly check Waverley. Clearlo, what's happening?
We're 20 minutes in this last quarter, and there's still a lead to Footscray, 104 to 95.
Phil, the leader in margin at Princes Park.
Richmond, 11 points, 15 minutes.
Right from the boundary throw, and it's taken away by Barwick, who kicks up towards the wing. Christian up, can't mark, and the ball goes over and beats Mullane. Collingwood 96, 13-18, 96. Brisbane 14-9, 93. Can the Pies hang on? Can the Bulldogs hang on? We'll wait and see in the next 10 minutes here on ABC Radio Sport. Boundary throw in. The ball knocked in on by Ryan up towards half forward. Back towards Ryan again. The ball knocked down there by Hamilton. The ball picked up there by Ashcroft, who kicks in towards half forward. On the bounce, Gafer coming out in front of Merritt this time. Gafer, a little feeble hand pass, but eventually that's one that's marking Shaw. Shaw's hand pass wasn't a good one, intercepted by Champion. And Francis gets the handball away. He was almost beheaded behind play, and plays coming back as Collingwood was streaming forward through the centre. So Tony Francis on the point of the square at half-back to take a free kick for a high tackle as he handballed that ball away. Collingwood 96, Brisbane 93. We are nearly 19 minutes in the quarter. So Collingwood looked good early, kicking the first couple of goals, but it's no gimme now. The kick now by Francis. Starspitz can't mark. O'Keefe overruns the ball. Now it's Wern, and there's a boundary throw in. Football on 3LO network stations. What a round of footy, and of course tomorrow 3LO at Cardinia Park. Geelong and Carlton throw in. Knocked down by O'Brien of the Bears. Let's see, Bain is there. Gee, he runs all day. The stamina is fantastic. On the ground is Campbell. Handball out towards Bain. Quick hand pass to Champion, who sidestepped beautifully away from Mullane. May have stood on his hand. The kick by Champion up towards half forward, and the ball falls into the lap of Hamilton. Handball's over the top of Barwick, or towards Ryan with a one-hander up around the wrist area. Just feebly knocks it back. Didn't want to know anything about it. And Collingwood clear the ball away through Barwick. Handball on to Francis, who's run all day. Quick hand pass on to Russell. Russell's hand pass on towards Williams, who knocks it down to Francis. Grabbed by Bain. Francis gets the handball away to Starkovich. Almost kicking in danger there against the Brisbane Bears, and there'll be a ball up on the wing. Collingwood 13-18, 96. Brisbane 14-9, 93. And the Bears had a chance then when they had 2-on-1. A crowd of 20,403. But a fairly ordinary effort by Matthew Ryan allowed Collingwood back in this encounter. Kick off the ground by Mullane. Goes to Starcevic, who may be starting to cramp. Kicks the ball in towards centre half forward. Williams now in towards Stakos, in towards the pocket. Punched away by McLean of the Brisbane Bears. McLean takes the front position, then sockers the ball around the right stand side. The ball trickling out there towards the boundary. McLean's got 2 to beat and does. Picks it up. Kicks up towards Hardy. Up into this Turner. The ball spills. Taken there by Worsfold. Gets the handball across to Ryan. Ryan making amends for that last error. Kicks in towards goal, with a mark taken by Gafer in the back pocket for Collingwood, who lead by 3 points.
And he's got a man loose out at half-back. That's Barwick. He hits him with the sweeping hand pass. Barwick goes for Mullane, who has to wait as Bain tries to spoil. Mullane goes for it when it hits the deck, but can't keep it in play. And it's over the line, and Mullane adjusts the mattress on his left thigh. Throw in between wing and half forward for the Bears. 21 minutes in. It has been an absolutely spine-tingling last quarter, with just points between them from start to finish. Ball with Mullane now. A hand pass to Francis on the centre line. Has a bounce, runs into trouble. He's tackled very hard and dispossessed, and that might open the door for the Bears. Picked up by O'Brien, who's been gallant. A left hand pass to Gastev. Bad hand pass to nobody. Christian over the ball for Collingwood. Tunnels the left footer along the wing. Out on the full though, and it's a Bears free kick to Noonan on the half-back flank. We've played 21.5 minutes at Victoria Park and Collingwood lead by 3 points. As Noonan kicks high towards half forward, O'Brien up in front. It falls to Shaw, flicks it to Francis, kicks Collingwood into attack, and it's marked by Brown. Very solid mark. Between
50, that.
Close thing, Crackers, but not close enough. Brown kicks towards full forward. Front position, Richardson against Lester Smith. The young bloke almost marks. Dacos over the ball. Looks for someone to knock it out too. Gets it to Russell. Hand pass to Shaw. The skipper goes for an unguarded goal. And he's done it. He has, and the Magpies lead by 9 points at the 22-minute mark. 14-18-102. The Bears 14-9-93, and it is going to be difficult for the underdogs from here. Let's quickly check the other scores. David Mackay.
Melbourne by 37 points at the 18-minute mark. Melbourne 22-14, 146. Lead North Melbourne 17-7, 109. Phil Pennell.
Richmond by 17 points at the 20-minute mark. 15-14, 104 to Fitzroy 12-15, 87. Clearly.
I think the Hawks are gone. We're into the time-on period, and Footscray are 16-15, 111 to Hawthorn, 14-11, 95.
From the centre bound, Christian gets the knock and also gets a possession, knocking the ball on. It comes out towards Ryan of the Brisbane Bears on the right stand side, with Alan McAllister where he has been all day at ground level in front of the Collingwood race. The ball picked up by Ashcroft for the Brisbane Bears. They go forward again. Merritt in front but tries to knock it down, but there was no one there to pick it up. Picked up by Mullane. Mullane kicks the ball across the half-back line to Russell. Russell half-back for Collingwood. Has he got a target? The target is Brown, and Brown is marked in front of the rider stand on the wing for Collingwood. Collingwood 102, Brisbane 93. Now the kick by Gavin Brown. Up towards Williams and Krasiska. The ball punched away by Lester Smith in front of the pack is Starcevic. Playing cat and mouse there with Ashcroft. Handballs backwards to Francis. A neat foot pass on to Christian from the point of the square. Goes in towards Dacos, who dives and gets there. 40 metres out, almost directly in front. And if we're getting a little bit of feedback, it's because we've got an enclosed box here and also a lot of people out in front with their transistor. So there's a little bit of an echo coming through. We apologise for that.
Tunstall's just kicked his ninth.
Margin, Clearlo.
10 points in favour of Footscray, 26.5 minutes gone.
Now Dacos 45 metres out. The Magpies lead by 9 points here at Victoria Park. He's kicking towards the adoring fans in the Sharon stand. Let's see their reaction. Well, it's not good, but they're still adoring because they're 10 points up. Dacos misses to the left, and he's kicked 3 goals, 1. Score check. Collingwood 14-19, 103. Brisbane 14-9-93.
Low scoring quarter. 3 goals to 1, so I reckon it'll only go about 27 or 28 minutes. As Wern puts it back into play, and we're at the 24.5-minute mark. Mullane fists it away from the grasping fingers of a few Bears players over the boundary line, and his skipper Tony Shaw joins the applause which rings around Victoria Park.
Another goal to Hawthorn.
Margin, 1 kick.
It's 4 points only at the 28-minute mark.
Well, you've got the close one now, Clearlo. It's official. From the throw-in, Bain in possession, tackled, dispossessed, and the ball over the boundary line again. Collingwood by 10 points here. 103 plays 93, and we're about to enter time on in the last quarter.
The boundary throw-in, Magpies in attack, knocked down by Starcevic. Wern is there through the pack, and also Campbell. Grabbed there by Anderson. Loose ball comes down towards Williams. Gets a push in the back and will take the free kick. And if the Hawks get up, Terry Wheeler will probably feel exactly the same way as Robert Walls, having this game pretty well parcelled up for most of the match. Now, Williams goes square across the ground to Christian, who just lobs a little chip pass on the centre square line to Monkhorst, who looks in towards half forward. Behind the pack there is Richardson. Now, it's 30 metres out from goal, picked up by Anderson. It's pretty tough in the middle there, and there'll eventually be a ball up. Well, I was a little bit hesitant, but there wasn't a great deal to describe. The ball was virtually almost in Collingwood's possession, but no one really doing a great deal with it. It's 30 metres out from goal. The Pies by 10 points here at Victoria Park, and the Bears giving them one hell of a scare. The ball knocked down by Richardson, picked up there by Bain. Bain's kick is marked by Krasiska, who kicks right across the face of goal to the left, and it's out on the full. Clearlo, what's happening at the park?
The ball's on the centre wing with 29 minutes gone.
And we've lost our line.
4 points advantage to Footscray, 29 minutes gone.
And Phil, the latest at Princes Park, are the Tigers safe?
Yes, 18-point advantage at the 25-minute mark. I think they're there.
As Noonan takes a free kick for the Bears from the back pocket out towards Ischenko. Monkhorst with a big fist on the ball, brings it to ground. Merritt dives on it for the Bears. They're also tired, no one can get it clear. Eventually Christian, a 10-metre kick. Oh, Dacos opens the door for Williams, goes for a run, 40 metres out, kicks a goal, and the Magpies are home. But who would have believed that it would have taken them until the 26-minute and 50-second mark to have subdued the gallant Brisbane Bears at Victoria Park.
So are Footscray home. We've played 31 minutes and Royals just kicked his fifth. It's an advantage of 10 points now to Footscray at the 30-minute and 15-second mark.
Good on you, Clelo. And here Collingwood 15-19-109. The Bears 14-9-93.
Yes, and good effort by young Williams. The only blot on his game today, as we mentioned, has been the fact that his disposal hasn't been that good, but he's got magnificent acceleration, and his effort then to receive that handball, get clear and steady, was mark of a man beyond his years.
In the centre, Monkhorst gets first possession with the tap, and in the first possession with the kick out of the centre. Wern in front of Francis. The ball spills behind to Starcevic. Gets a little nudge in the back. No free kick, but he does get a hand pass up towards Dacos, who uses his body beautifully. He's 48 metres out from goal. Fires it towards centre half forward. It was meant for young Mark Richardson, but O'Keefe with marks. Clelo, final score at VFL Park.
Oh, just wait till Coleman has his shot for goal. He kicks for goal, and I think he's missed it, but it's all over, and Footscray have won. The final score, 17-16, 118. Hawthorn 16-11, 107, 11-point win to Footscray.
Okay, back here at Victoria Park in the dying moments of this game. We're beyond 3 minutes of additional time. Tony Shaw can hardly run, can hardly walk, let alone run with that ankle. Hand pass across to Anderson, in turn on to Turner. Turner looking for Richardson, goes up. The punch from Noonan, the ball spills behind. Knock on by Francis. Open goal for Gavin Brown. Handball across to Starcevic. Goal number 5, he's put it through. And that really caps off what has been almost a perfect game by Craig Starcevic. And the Magpies, as the board updates now, will give the Brisbane Bears score first. 14-9-93. Collingwood 16-19, 115. A margin of 21 points.
Well, one thing I will say, that Collingwood had to work in this game to win it. Full credit to him, but that was a lovely bit of play, and Starcevic fed it off. Brown started to come into it. He was first to give the hand pass out, but Starcevic just lined her up and popped her through. They're trying to create a situation now where they get a little bit of respectability out of it.
59-point turnaround. They were 37 down halfway through the third quarter. Now they lead by 22. Bain puts the Bears into attack, but it lands in the lap of Banks at half-back, and he kicks out to the wing to Tony Shaw, who's been perpetual motion as ever. A long hand pass to Turner, who runs along the right stand wing. One bounce, and then kicks long towards young Richardson up in the forward pocket. Can't mark, off the pack, fighting for the ball, Wern. A hand pass to Merritt, another one to O'Keefe, and the Bears do it stylishly out of defence. O'Keefe goes towards the running Worsfold up on the wing. A left-hander towards Gastev is not terribly precise. Sloppy, in fact. Gastev, there's the siren. So the Magpies have beaten the Bears by 22 points at Victoria Park, but we came here expecting a one-horse race, and we have seen a tremendous contest, which halfway through the third quarter the Bears looked as though they were going to win. But in the end, Collingwood's class told.